everybody. We're back better than ever. Reality Skewed Gamers coming at you. It's Wednesday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's time for us to get into the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news and weekly updates. And our show covers it all, and we're going to delve into it. And boy, oh boy, do we have a buttload of stuff to get into. And my goodness. I'm Ranger J 1999 from Team Instinct, and of course, we've got a great panel for you like we always do. First off is my brother from another mother, the brown bearded Gandalf himself, government Wi Fi stealer. Grande Patron is here. Grande, what's going on, bruh?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up?
I see they let you out
Oh
again
man,
for
just say
prison.
yeah, they did. They let me out for bad behavior. They said,
Oh.
"Oh wait, SWGOH is gonna have double drops next week. We have to make sure
Mm,
that Grande is able to be able to steal government Wi-Fi and be able to get his double drop.
that's right. Yep.
It was a whale release. It was a
Oh,
whale release.
well, yeah, that's what it is. Also joining us is the lightsaber builder himself, Mr. Sir Loki. Mr. Sir Loki, what's going on, bud?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me, and just getting home from work. So excited to jump on the show and talk about Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes and all the crap that they dropped on us today.
Yes, it's going to be a long episode because my God in heaven did they drop some stuff. And of course, joining us all the way from jolly old England, you know him, you love him, it's the great Dark Lord, the Smith Lord himself, Smithy D. What's up, Smithy?
How you doing, man? I'm pretty good. Oh, yeah, good.
Now we're all like,
Yeah.
let's get
Oh,
into. I
still
know,
making
man.
a video.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get into all that stuff, but first, couple updates. First of all, if you guys saw, we didn't get the chance to talk about it. This happened after last week's stream, but we did want to recognize the passing of Chris Cornell. For me, that was a big hit in the gut. For my generation, Chris Cornell is one of those unique singers, Soundgarden, Audio Slave. As a musician, as a former musician, he was an integral part of my musical background and love of music. I grew up loving their sound. He had a unique voice that was incredible. It's just heartbreaking for me that most of my generation's lead singers have all died either through drug overdose or suicide, and I think it's important, guys. If you are, we all reach a point in our life where we're hurting and things are bad. Trust me, I've been through some things that you know are not easy to deal with. But if you're in pain, get some help. Suicide's not the way to go. There's always a better way. Because suicide, it's an act of pain, a release of pain that someone's feeling. I've dealt with suicide, as I'm sure most of you had too, and it's a traumatic experience for those that love you, because suicide is one of those things that's really hard to understand. You know, um, but unfortunately, in my life, I've had to deal with a lot of it. Being a former soldier, the highest suicide rate in this country are former soldiers, people that served in the military. So if you're feeling like that, please get help. Hell, if you're on this Discord and you just need someone to talk to, holler at me anytime you want. There's no reason for that to happen, if it can be prevented. So a sad loss. I mean, for me, Scott Whalen, you know, um, Kurt Cobain, Staley from Alice in Chains, and now Chris Cornell. It's a bummer. So we wanted to recognize that in the beginning. Hate to start the stream on a note like that, but I think it's an important topic. Um, to discuss. I mean, for me, it was pretty tragic, and it that one hit me hard. Chris Cornell is someone I admired. I'd seen him in concert. Never had a chance to meet him, but I've been to a couple of Soundgarden concerts and stuff, and I just loved his stuff. So you will be missed, sir. Big bucket of win for your life and what you've accomplished. So, with that note, let's get into some other things. Um, we have finally figured out, in the stream you can do the super chat. The super chat is a button on the bottom there. If you'd like to give to the stream, um, and support the content and stuff that we're doing, please, you can do that. But we now have a donation button because one of the things that we've been getting hit on is people that can't watch the stream when it's live, they wanted to donate. We had to figure out how to do that. So me and Finn put our heads together and finally figured it out. So we do have a donation button if you would like to donate to the stream outside of doing super chat in the live stream. You can now, and it goes directly to us, and we will use that to continue putting out the great content that's out there. As you can see on the bottom there, we have all the people that donated from last week. Big shout out to all you guys, and especially Ewok, who donated $40. Man, that's outrageous. Thank you, sir, for that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty pimp. I had to look at it a couple times, like, is that $40? Jesus Christ! I was trying to get him on this stream.
We're really glad you used that. We'll be using that so that Jay 1999 can unlock Jedi Luke.
Yeah, no, good. We're gonna get into that. I'm trying to stay calm about that, but I may rant again. You may see a Ranger rant tonight. But we'll get into that later. But we want to do what we always do is we want to shout out everybody that's here on the live stream. So let's go ahead and do that. We got a buttload of people in there, so let me pull that up. Oh my God, the YouTube is just being ridiculous. All right, let's start from the top here. I know some of the people.
I'm kidding, by the way, Ewok. Just so you know.
All right, so we've got Bimatsu, we've got our boy Grim, we got Knights Templar, Lucas T. Let's see, we've got my MJ, my boy MJ, who's he's stuck at the house tonight with all his kids. God bless you, sir. Good luck. New person here, KP67s. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Our boy Luke Dyrocker's in the house. Always a great show when he's around. So is our boy Shadowvel. I'm gonna get his monkey ass on one of these days. Him and Ewok.
Saw you trying to get him on earlier.
I know, I'm trying, man. They got busy lives and stuff.
Yep.
Today's Ewokin. Is it Ewokin's birthday or Shadowvel? I just went blank. It's Shadowvel's birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Shadowvel. Hope you have fun tonight. I think that's why he couldn't be on. I was like, hell no, you can't be on. You got to go party, get drunk, celebrate your birthday, man. Baylor's on. Welcome, Justin Ward. He says my wife is out of town. I'm here all night. Suck it, world. Justin Ward, that's a great way of viewing it. Who else is on? Victor Oneta is on. See, I said your name right finally. It's all that patience paid off for you. Eric S is here. John Knopf, Kobe Wan. Affinity's here. Oh yeah, Affinity. Big kudos to him. All these images and stuff you see. I did a lot of the technical side of putting it together. Finn's the one that actually creates this stuff that you guys see in here. So if you don't know who Finn is, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, the Troll Extraordinaire. He is a doctor. He does have an MBA. He is smarter than you, and he will troll the hell out of you if you get out of line. So don't do it. Ben Lazarus is here. Good Lord, we got a lot of people in chat today. Good Lord, the late Pix is here.
Yes.
Wow. Enrique B. Well, let me make sure I say that name right because I know he'll get upset. Enrique, all the way from, where is he, in Holland? Dutchland? Somewhere around
Belgium or Holland.
Belgium, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sean G. of Arizona is here. Saladoon Abdallah is here. Very nice to have you. Magna Nihilist. First time I've seen their name there. Thank you for being on in the chat. I think that's everybody that I could catch. So if we missed your name, apologies. We try to get as many names as we can. But and we will be answering questions. We got a lot of stuff going, guys. So, there's our boy, good old Maurice. I saw him, so I'm gonna make sure we get that out there. So we've got a lot to cover, and we're gonna kind of do stuff in a little bit of reverse order. Because there's so many notes and stuff that came out this week. So let's start off with first the meta report. Let's start from there and work our way around.
Meta Reporte.
Meta Reporte brought to you by Wells Fargo. If you go in there right now and use Grande's name, you will get nothing, 0%, zero money. That's the promotion they're running right now. I think you have to get.
But it is 0% down.
Yeah, so that's right. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's a loan. You can use it to spend money on a game. That's important.
Right.
It was Grande, Tequila, but we changed it to Wells Fargo. I think that's just I think for us it works out better in the long run.
It was a better advertiser. Grande Patron Tequila is taking a little bit of a hiatus at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah. So
Wells Fargo loan.
yeah. So looking at the meta report, I mean, good God, Rex is in effect. I mean, good Lord in heaven. When you guys see this, I mean, 45% of teams are running Rex. Next is Darth Maul. Wedge Antilles has made a big jump up, and then we see a lot of the
Yep.
same names that we had before. I've seen Jin jump up a little bit. Uh, yeah, I mean, when you guys look at the meta report, when you see this, we know Rex is here and it's going to be here for a while. Does anything else stand out to you? I mean, that wedge jumping up was really interesting. Do you think that has to do with R2 and people finally getting him to gear and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do. But, I mean, whenever you have one team that is 295% of the rank 1 leaders,
Yeah.
I mean, it's 77% of rank 1 leaders are running the same team. There's one team that everyone is running. And it's going to take quite a bit, I think, to change that team up. I mean, it dwarfs the second place team, which is the exact same team with one character change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, effectively, you have 90. You have like 90 something percent of teams running. I mean, that's insane that there's that much.
Yeah.
I mean, those percentages don't add up to 100, so I don't know what percentage they add up to, because 77 plus 20 plus 19, we're already over 100.
Yeah.
So obviously the percentages are messed up, but even still, 3 times, you got 400 people running the same team, 2 characters different, and if you added in Kylo Ren
which is
as
what
the
I run.
third one, that puts you, at over what, over 450 teams.
Yeah.
Are running the same 3 teams where they just swapped one character different.
Yeah.
I feel like that tells you that Rex Chirrut Bay's Nihilus is in effect, and I seriously doubt us seeing for a while. Heck, you can even go down and look at some other ones that have Rex Chirrut Bay's. Put Boba Fett on the team.
Yeah.
So I mean, so you have some variation of Rex Chirrut Bay's GK R2. I mean, it's just effectively the Rex Chirrut Bays, and then fill in your others. The meta, and probably has been for a while, and now I don't really know when that will change.
Yeah, Smithy, when you look at this, I mean, what are your thoughts, my friend?
Disgust.
Could you elaborate a little more about your disgust?
I really feel.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, there's a lot of Rex leads. Yeah, I guess it's always going to happen when Chirrut and Bays pretty much have been more accessible across the board. Without a doubt, Rex is pretty much the all-round leader, isn't he? If we look the ones there, we've got Qui-Gon Jinn. I think that's definitely going to be on the rise. It's quite a decent one. It's going to beat the kind of like Rex team, dependence on the ratio between mods, of course, but it's a safe bet, isn't it? Rexes, Rex, Chirrut, and whatever you're going to put in there. You could have a Rex lead, with General Kenobi, build whatever team you want. It's still a safe bet. Probably not. Yeah, it's quite boring, to be honest. Rex versus Rex all the time, but it isn't. Hopefully, there's going to be this fan favorite in June that's going to change everything and make the game great again.
That's right.
Especially when it comes in the arena. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, that's what we kind of said about the Maul lead when it was running. For what, a month ago was Maul pretty much at this ratio. So Loki, someone who does not run Rex and stuff like that, and you see this, what are your thoughts? Is there any end in sight for this meta the way it's going right now?
No, I think Rex is here to stay, unless they can change the mechanic of the whole meter doesn't matter anymore, right? But that's the reason why he's so good. He gives the other characters turn meter. he's been meta since he came out. It's just more people have him now because he's more accessible. But back in the day with the Erodium pack, it was like the only way to get him. So those who spent on it, they've had an advantage for a long time, and everybody's caught up now. I was looking over the agenda real quick. I just wanted to throw out, I just read a post by Cozy over on the forum that they are looking into the Darth Nihilus thing, and it is officially a bug. So that might
when you say
a little bit
bug,
with Nihilus now.
So they're talking about the fact that Darth Nihilus is not affected by potency. That's the one that you're talking about, right, Sir Loki?
Or tenacity up, right? So
or
the triple cleanse.
Up.
Yeah, so Cozy just mentioned, I just read this, apparently it is identified now, so his cooldown increase is not supposed to go through potency.
You mean tenacity?
Correct, yes, tenacity up. I apologize, yes. So, will that affect the meta report? Probably.
Nihilus is dead.
I know.
Well, so effectively, if you can't increase cooldowns through tenacity, bye-bye Nihilus.
Nihilus is dead.
Yeah. Or it means you're going to have to do something like have your Nihilus one speed slower than your... Or you're going to have your Nihilus one speed slower than your General Kenobi. Put it up where it goes bang, bang.
Well, I feel sorry for the guys that did Zeta their Nihilus, because that's going to change the battle in this Rex meta. Because let's say Rex versus Rex, and let's say, the other person that you're facing has a faster Rex. You've Zetaed your Nihilus. That's going to then it's going to make Rex effectively proc straight away and go for that tenacity up and boost the entire team, and then they're going to have an issue. Yeah, that's a big major change. I knew it was coming because I mentioned it in my video because I checked the report, but that's pretty much in the meta that we're in now. It's going to be about speed again.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little. I mean, it kind of sucks for the free-to-play player, right? I mean, they just pull shard thing. I don't mean to jump through the agenda, but it's just they did. All the recalculations, and now you're getting more shards here and there, and then you can go after him in the shard shop. But then, is he going to be really viable anymore? With this small little tweak, I mean, it's a big deal. I think.
I just 7-starred him today.
Well, I still think he's a pretty solid character.
So this potentially, so if we look at this, that potentially takes Nihilus out of the team and put someone like Zeta Kylo Ren in, or somebody like R2 in.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have interchangeable parts, I mean, the meta's going to change, characters will be introduced, things change, just as long as you keep your roster going to where you can use them. And who's to say right now that Nihilus, even with the changes, it's going to have, we don't know what kind of effect it's really going to have until we see it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, with Nihilus. But we'll keep our ears to the ground and kind of see what happens with good old Darth Nihilus. All right, so let's get into the meat of this stuff. So we're gonna go through all these notes. There was a lot of stuff put out this week. All right, everybody, take a deep breath. Let's prepare ourselves for this. Oh my god! All right, so we're gonna start with Nute Gunray. Who wants to go first?
I'll take Nute Gunray.
All right, what are your thoughts on the changes?
I feel. Okay, so first of all, we found this team.
Speak it, brother.
Team.
You still there? I think
so
I scared off
we found this team that we found this.
No.
Hello? You're cutting out.
Hold on.
We can't hear you.
Somebody else talking. I'll come back.
Okay.
Smithy, go ahead.
We were joking with him, right?
No, I couldn't hear him.
I could hear him perfectly.
No, he was cutting out for me.
That was just for you, though.
Oh,
okay. He was,
yeah. So
then come back.
He'll come back.
Let's say, can you hear me?
Okay, let's see. There he is. Yeah. There's Grande.
All right, I just came back in.
That's right.
Can't hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Can anyone hear Grande?
They're messing with you now, man.
So, freaking Nute Gunray. we got a team that was a really good team that used a leader ability that had just been reworked and this leader ability from Nute Gunray had been nerfed a couple of times. It had been nerfed in the Lando meta when you could use Lando behind him. It had been sort of quasi nerfed whenever R2 came out. Somebody came up with a team that you could maybe solo P2, or you could at least do 1 million damage to 5 million damage in P2, and they nerfed it in 2 days. It also used 2 Jawas and potentially used R2, or potentially used someone like Dengar, or potentially used someone like Soul. All characters that if somebody hung their hat on those characters and thought they were awesome, they now finally had a use. And they nerfed it in 2 days. Now, here's the thing. Do I think that team was overpowered and was probably not working correctly? Absolutely. I do think it was overpowered and not working correctly. The challenge, though, here is that it sends the wrong message. And the message that it sends is, if you post really awesome stuff on the forums, you need to be careful because your crap might get nerfed in 2 days. And that's the part that's the wrong road we're going down. So effectively, if you find something, what they've said is, if you find something awesome, don't show it. Because if you show it, then the devs might deem it to be wrong or bad. Wrong message for communication. The better message would have been, hey, look, we see this as a problem. We're working on it, and you guys might have to 30 days, and then it gets fixed. To me, that's a better message to send. The guy who first posted this team logo, and I wrote a post on the all things Nute Gunray, and I said they need to be careful about the larger message. The larger message is that this is not gonna that you've decreased communication and you've decreased sharing between players and the developers on the official forums. Bottom line. You think if this guy comes up with another team that can hit 3 million damage or 6 million damage or can solo P3, that he's going to actually tell anybody about this team? He's going to keep it to himself and potentially be called out as a cheater 2 weeks because apparently they think he's using God mods or using a God mode and he's hacked the APK.
So
Well, Lugo got.
go ahead, Smithy.
Well, Lugo got banned.
No, he didn't get banned. What I'm saying, though, is the next time someone comes up with an OP team, are they going to share it with anybody? Not going to share it with anybody. What's going to happen is their guild is going to say they're a quote-unquote cheater called, and they're going to get banned for hacking the APK. The possibility of what would happen if somebody posted a full clear of P3 and somebody's going to call them a cheater. Called cheaters, and they potentially could have just had an OP squad. What about? Do you see
I don't know. Disagree about changing it. You know, I think I'm on the other side of the fence. You know, I'm not sitting there and what it was, but I could see it was an exploit. It wasn't meant to be, and that's why they changed it, because they're going to have a priority. They've just done a whole load of bug changes for a start. You know, the past 2 weeks have just been about them changing bugs, doing this, doing that. So they're in a situation, if something as a priority like this pops up, they can fix it straight away because it's down to a leadership mechanic that's allowing it. How they addressed it, it's just one of them. They're going to fix it straight away because in their eyes, that shouldn't be happening, and it's classed as like an exploit. That's what it is, because to them it's unforeseen. They class it as an exploit, and that's pretty much how they look at it. So they're going to fix it.
Hold on. So explain to me the difference between Nute Gunray and 2 Jawas and Kenobi Sync. Explain to me the difference between Nute Gunray and 2 Jawas and Turpentine.
Well, the difference between it is that you're taking a Nute that's got a gear 6 or gear 5 or whatever gear, he's cannon fodder, and you're just using 2 Jawas to do something, just repeat in a sync, that's pretty much what you're doing. That's kind of like if you did a game.
But Kenobi sync works. Kenobi sync P1 works the same way, right?
Yeah, but you don't clear it, do you? You don't do millions and millions of damage. It's based on Kenobi's retribution.
You could do 2 million damage with Kenobi sync in P1.
Yeah, but that's pretty much, you're using General Kenobi for a start. He's a raid character. They're gonna be max gear, 7-star. The characters you're using, if you take in, let's say for example, with this Kenobi sync, you take in Maul, that's gear 9, gear 8, he's gonna be dead pretty much straight away. He's gonna get hit by General Grievous and die. You know, and same as if you took in all these characters, these Jawas didn't have to be gear 10, they could be a gear 9, for example. That's why, you know, if you remember back in the days, if we took in a gear 9 team, we'd get slaughtered and you'd get tiny score because the raid itself isn't created for levels of gear 8, gear 9. There should be no way that, one, you should be taking in a 3-man team, 2, taking in undergeared or under-modded teams to then clear an entire phase. That's pretty much an unforeseen
I don't
exploit.
disagree with you that they shouldn't have fixed it. It was the way they went about fixing it that seems to be the problem. You know what I mean? And it's the fact that they don't fix Vader for 6 months. They don't fix Tebow for 6 months.
That's a great point.
And they fix Nute and 2 Jawas in 2 days. That's the part that seems a little bit. And now they're talking about fixing Kylo P1 too, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna fix Kylo P1 after what, 3 months maybe? We've had Zeta Kylo P1, and now you're gonna fix that. You gave that 3 months before you fixed it. One character by himself soloing all of P1 takes 3 months.
Yeah, it's not really soloing, isn't it? It's just escaping.
It's
right,
soloing.
but it's one character by himself, and we take 3 months to fix that, and it's still not fixed yet. But we fix. I mean, if you got Nute to 7-star and you got 2 Jawas to 7-star, good on you. Whether they're gear 6 or they're gear 10 or they're gear 11, give everybody 2 or 3 weeks. Say you're gonna fix it. Say, hey, just so you know, we're fixing this in 2 weeks. I mean, that's the part that seems a little bit like they went about it the wrong way. I'm not saying it shouldn't be fixed and that it is not working as intended. I understand that. My problem is how quickly they jumped on one bandwagon and they did not jump on the other bandwagon. That's my problem.
Yeah. Loki, let's throw you in here, bud. Where do you stand on this?
It's hard to say. I mean, you know,
Speak your mind.
No. I mean, I agree with what Grande's saying. I agree with what Smithy's saying. I mean, from like a theory crafter's point of view, I mean, we got a lot of good theory crafters in the chat room as well and on the panel. You know, it kind of makes you think about being creative. I mean, the guy who invented this, you know, his name's Lugo, right? I mean, this guy, I mean, it's awesome what he did, I think, for the community because it helps all the free-to-play and the under-geared guilds out. I mean, but then one thing struck me when I think they announced they were going to fix it was they were going to look into not only Xylo, but they were going to look into other mega teams, right? So, I mean, does that mean they're going to fix the clones? Are they going to fix Resistance? Are they going to... And that's what I'm personally worried about is how far are they going to take these exploits, if you want to call it that, or super teams or something like that, you know?
You make a great point. They already nerfed Princess Zodi once, right?
They nerfed Princess Zodi, and I think they nerfed Maul too, right? I mean, Maul got nerfed.
Yeah. So the Princess Zodi nerf was no protection increases after Enrage, if I'm not mistaken.
But that was mostly because of the Sidious leadership. Maul would have been able to solo on his own. That's why it was changed, because on Heroic...
Here's the other bigger issue, right? Somebody 8 months after a raid comes out figures out a way to solo one phase. Is the problem that someone came out with a way to solo an 8-month-old raid, or is the problem that there's not new content?
I think it's because it's still the newest raid, isn't it? Even though how old it is, even if it was
8 months old. I mean, we had a raid in. We had a raid. The game came out out of soft launch in January of 2016. We got a raid in what, April of 2016, and then we got a raid in October of 2016, and now we haven't had another raid since October of 2016, and we're now sitting here in May of 2017. If we had a new raid that we were all talking about, and somebody came up with a way to solo a phase on a raid that was 8 months old, nobody would have given a crap. Right or wrong? I mean, so the cadence of producing raids is also messed up. Or the cadence of producing new content is also messed up. We're getting 6 characters a month, 7 characters a month, but we haven't had a new raid since October. That's the problem.
It's true. And
someone is going to figure out a way to solo a phase, and the response of the devs is, let's just nerf the crap out of it. That to me is the wrong mentality and the wrong thing to be focused on. I mean, just my 2 cents, but I mean, we should have a bounty hunter Sarlacc pit raid at this point. We should have some kind of a ships raid at this point. We should have a Hoth AAT raid, right? I mean, we should have a Ewok indoor ATST raid. I mean, we could throw out all different kinds of raids that we should have 4, 5, 6 raids, and not be worried if somebody comes up with some little 2 Jawas and Nute Gunray that solo one phase. I mean, we had a level increase. We were at level 80 and only had, 11 characters that could get to gear 11 when that raid came out. We also only had something like 82 characters. We now have 121 characters, including faction reworks and whole new factions, and yet we still have the same raid, and everyone can get to gear 11, and we're wondering how people came up with fancy theory crafting ways to make undergeared characters work.
It's an interesting point. Very interesting point. So in chat, tell us what you guys think. You know, you've heard everything on this topic. Tell us what you think. You know, put your thoughts out there, and if you have questions about it further, we will answer questions at the end of the stream about this. So let's move on to the next subject, because there's still a lot more to get to. I'm going to go to Smithy on this one, because I know you're working on a video for this guy. Tarkin, his character rework. He has ship changes, bug fix to intimidation tactics, update to victory at all costs. Overall for Tarkin, I know you're working on this. I know you're going to have a video come out on it. Your overall assessment of the Tarkin rework.
Oh, there's a lot to go through. It's not straightforward as it may appear with him.
Well, just give us
the difficult.
Good, the bad, as you always say in your videos, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, that's it. Biggest issue. I think when they rework characters, right, I'm a strong believer that they should also rework stats and base stats, because a lot of these characters were built for a civilized age, before mods, before protection.
A more elegant.
And some of them have, like that's sometimes as well how you get all these kind of like characters like Kylo that's so powerful, you know, to a degree, of course. Where he's got really high health, high protection, because base stats, you know? And then I think that's sometimes how you get unbalanced characters, and this is a good example of a character that's only had abilities reworked and hasn't had his base stats changed. He's one of these characters that you're going to have 2 different versions of him, right? Well, there's probably going to be about 3 or 4 versions of him, but the version you want to be aiming for is making him a tank and a mini nuke, and you can do that through his unique and potency and stacking it, and pretty much that what it's about. You kind of really need to Zeta. His leadership isn't something to jump around about. I wouldn't really say go out and do his leadership, because fire leadership's out there. And you don't really want to be, unless you want to be going the speedway, because he is the one that's going to be given 30 speed with his Zeta. And it's good against someone like Sharut and Baze, because it put in that exposed once they drop into health. And we all know about Sharut and Baze just heal themselves to 100% health. So it gives you a huge advantage on them. But in the arena, it's just, with so much with Rex and all that around, it's not really, I would say. Other than that, he's going to be stacking a ton of potency on himself. The more potency he gains, which he's going to be doing over time. So think of like the Incredible Hulk. Like he's getting more angry and angry as the time goes on. He's going to then have harder skin. He's going to then hit harder. Well, that's pretty much what Tarkin is. He's going to start off squishy on him, stacking it through all his uniques and everything and all the bits that he's got. Then you kind of unleash this kind of like Death Star attack. Or I've seen it can do about 40k on an AoE. It takes a long amount of time at that level. So you could potentially be looking at 20k, 25k AoE. And we're talking, this is towards the end of an arena battle. But the catch is once you unleash the Fury through ultimate firepower, all his potency resets pretty much. So he's then going to be a squishy character again until you start boosting back up, and kind of like stacking him. But you're going to have a completely different character that's probably going to work. Think of the AI, okay? If the aim of this character is to build up his potency by using his basic and not using ultimate firepower whatsoever, because that then resets his potency. It's kind of like the reset button that starts his potency again. So all his potency just goes into that attack. Loads of damage. So the AI is probably going to use that on second or third attack. So the AI will probably open with intimidation tactics. Then it will then use ultimate firepower. Then it will use his basic ×2. Then it will be back to intimidation tactics. Then ultimate firepower. It's not really going to be given a chance to stack up all this potency. Yeah, that's my probably biggest problem with him, because on defense the AI is not going to be able to use him, because it's not even mechanic based how you would use him. It's pretty much the user has to use him a way that it's not specified to get the best out of him, and the AI is not going to be doing that. Pretty much that.
So Tarkin, let's break it down for PvP. Do you think he is a viable PvP character?
Not all round. No, I'd say that the defense really lets him down, and when I say really lets him down, it just destroys who he is. We're talking that he could be really good with the user using him, but when it comes to defense, he's just going to be a turd. That's pretty much what he is. He's going to be really bad, really, really bad, and it's just, he's going to be really weakling, because the AI is just going to be going for ultimate firepower whenever it can, and the aim to use him on the attack is not use ultimate firepower at all until you get that golden moment where you then use it to try and go for a big AoE. And defense in the arena, I wouldn't personally use him if I zated him, if I had him. I just don't think he's going to work very well on the defense, and I think he's just going to be a breeze to just take him out of the way, because the AI is just going to mess him up.
Okay, now let's talk about raids. Where do you see him in the two
raids? I think he'll be good for the Rancor.
Agreed.
With what?
Totally. I've already seen video footage of him on the Rancor. It's awesome.
What team?
Really
what team would you guys recommend these guys out there in TV land to be using with a Tarkin?
Zeta lead, I'd say.
With who else?
Yeah, it's a Vader lead, TIE fighter pilot, Tarkin, Jin, and pick your fifth.
Rex.
Yeah.
Rex could work. I've actually seen that team work. I saw a video and some screenshots with Shore Trooper actually, that seemed to work out pretty well. Because it seems like you in the Rancor you're going to get hit a few times, and so if you get hit a few times, then potentially you can get some heals off with Shore Trooper, and he still does turn meter reduction.
Yeah, I don't. The couple of my shard mates, they my guild mates, sorry. They tried it with like a super under-geared Tarkin. He was 7-star, but he's like gear 5, and they were able to solo it. So it's same team. They, your 5th was like Biston or Rex or whoever, and you just had to get you had to set the auto battle to like basic only at one point, and then you can 4 times auto it. But yeah, it's definitely possible even with an under-geared Tarkin. You just need him at 7-star. Like gear 5 would work.
Uh-oh, it's an exploit. It's going to be nerfed next week.
Probably. But don't tell anybody.
Whatever you do, don't make a video.
You can only hear about the exploits on the RSG Wednesday chat. How about that?
Yeah,
so we won't post only. Them. There you go.
Well, I think we have someone else who joined the. Is that Nukin?
We got Nukin here.
Nukin, you there, buddy?
I thought we did.
Well, his mic.
Sometimes he has to rejoin because he can't hear us. Maybe he needs to do that.
One more time. We'll go Nukin. Hi, Nukin. All right, we'll if he wants to say something, we'll let him. But let's move on because we've talked about Tarkin.
Trouble on Tatooine flash event.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you didn't talk about the ship though. People are wondering.
I'm just listening, guys.
Oh, there's Nukin. Okay, Nukin. Okay, we'll get into the ship.
Nukin's gonna talk about.
I'm actually at a hospital right now, and I heard about Tarkin, and I just wanted to start listening in.
Well, are you working or are you admitted?
I'm not admitted. Just a family member fell down and broke his hip. So.
Oh man, I'm
sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
That really sucks.
But I'm happy that he's doing all right. I'm happy to have internet and listening to you guys talk about Tarkin. Love the Empire.
Yeah, well, you are a big evil person that we know and love. What are your thoughts on Tarkin as we've been discussing them?
I've just been really busy the past few days, so I haven't fully able to theory craft him like a lot, but I've used him in arena for a few battles, got him up to 70k AoE crit. Did him in Galactic War, did 150k crit. I did him in Rancor, sold the Rancor with him. He did like 1.5 million damage, and between him and Jin, Rancor was barely taking any turns, so he's amazing there. You actually don't need to Zeta him, especially if you're trying to do the area of effect annihilate meta, where you're trying to like quad or triple quad shot people in the arena, because you end up killing people just trying to stack up potency because it takes so long. So by the time you're ready to unleash the power of the Death Star, you're really only down to like 2 or 3 heroes, and then when you do the math, you're only getting like 20% potency per debuffed enemy. So would you Zeta someone to get 20 to 60% potency? Not really. Sidious is kind of like that, but Sidious is a little bit better, his Zeta. So I don't think you necessarily need to Zeta Tarkin. He's almost kind of like Darth Nihilus and his unique, sort of. So I think that he's quite good. I heard Smithy talking about changing base stats. I agree with him. I think they should do that more often. I think they did actually change Tarkin's speed. He's like 134 speed, which is closer to the average. He was closer to 100 beforehand. So I was theory crafting this team, actually using R2-D2 with Tarkin because he gives advantage up. And Tarkin can kind of be like a soft tank, because once his potency is stacking up, he has a ton of defense. He becomes like Sith Trooper. So you can run like 1 or 2 tanks and then give Tarkin actually stealth everyone else, and actually Tarkin like can turn into a tank in an arena battle. He's definitely arena viable on specific Empire lineups, but in a few weeks from now, basically everything I said could totally change, and we'll have like a refined version of where he could fit. He's definitely fun to play, that's for sure.
Very nice. All right. Now Loki, you just brought up the ships. So you had we want to cover that?
Do I want to cover it?
Well, you brought it up, fool.
I thought it was on the agenda.
It is on the agenda, but you said something about it. So
bug fix to intimidation tactics and victory at all costs.
Yeah, I geared him up. Actually, I had him geared up, but I maxed out I guess his potency unique and all that, and the ship I think got a lot better. He gives retribution to anybody coming off the bench, so I think that's a huge plus. But yeah, I mean my my ship arena power went up a little bit, and the capital ship, it just appears it got a little bit faster. So I'm getting that tie strike off like nothing now. It was struggling before, but overall, I think he just his ship I think got better than the actual character. Honestly,
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Anybody have any more thoughts on any of that before we move on?
I guess I'll chime in real fast. Add on
Yes.
to what
Oh,
Loki was
Nukin.
saying. I can't stop talking about the dark side
That's
characters,
all
man.
right. That's what we have the show for, brother. Dig in. Go for it.
All right, all right. So anyone else out there that runs Executrix, this is for you. You just got a much more solid defense, dark side fleet. So that retribution change is much better. You can run Sunfac as your first reinforcement. If anyone recalls, Sunfac, whenever he counterattacks, he puts target lock on enemies. So you don't need Scimitar now to put retribution on your Sunfac ship. So you don't have to be like every other person in Fleet Arena using Scimitar as your first reinforcement now. And on top of that, he did gain like 2 speed and some more damage. So overall, I would think that Tarkin defense might be rivaling Windu defense now because of that change. It's only been a few days, but I haven't really dropped out of the top 5 since the change. So
Who are you running with? Are you
I'm
running
running
Tarkin?
Executrix on defense. Did you guys see any sort of similar outcomes?
I haven't been
I know
using
a
them,
couple of guys.
but go ahead,
I
Grande.
know a couple of guys that are running Tarkin as theirs, and they moved from like top into top 40 on the changes to Tarkin's ship. So you started to see that a whole lot more, at least in my ship's server, where you see a lot more people actually running Executrix, or people that were running Executrix are now a whole lot higher, and it's not just Mace and
Akbar.
Akbar type ships. So you're actually seeing those guys kind of run up a little bit, and I'm glad to see them. It's we had way too many Akbar and Maces for way too long. I like to see the variation in the change.
Yeah, I hadn't had a chance to really look at what had gone on with Tarkin. I've got his ship pretty high. I may look at my lineup and actually maybe start using him now based off what you guys just said. I just haven't had a chance to play with him um, since they did the update. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. See, Nukin, stay with the dark side, brother. Oh, Nukin. All right, let's get into the next big thing because I want to get into this. The Trouble on Tatooine Flash event. I think we're all aware of what that is, right? Everybody here knows what's about to
We
happen with.
probably need to explain it for
Go
some
ahead,
people
go
because
ahead,
some
go ahead,
people may
Grande.
not know.
Go ahead, Grande.
So, the Trouble in Tatooine Flash event. So this event is going to use Luke Jawas to go up against Tuskens, and the event starts at different times for different people. I think it's already started for some people. A couple of things. So it says the Tatooine holds many dangers and mysteries. Check the perimeter of the farm and surrounding regions with Luke. Everything is safe. This event's level and rewards scale according to the player level. Based on player level and range levels for this event level between 80 and 85, and plays are shared across tiers. Try and complete the highest tier that you can on this event. I believe that let me look and see. I believe that this is designed so that it tells you have for each of the areas and what it's going to look like. Let me see if I can grab the data mine here real quick. But the data mine actually shows that which Jawas, and I believe it's already on SWGOH as well, as an event that shows you kind of what's going to go in on that event. But it's going to be it's going to be different. It's going to be something that you have to look for. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on the fact that you need to have this stuff?
Well, let me ask this to the panel. How many of you guys have, from what we understand, a 6-star Luke that you can use and ready to go? Besides Grande, who has every character known to man.
Mine's ready to go. I mean, I got him 7-star gear 11. So
Okay. What about you, Nukin?
I actually used Luke to get Palpatine last summer, so he's 7 stars.
Okay.
And I think it's Jawa as well, and I have them gear 10 and gear 11 because of the tank raid. So I think that I'll be fine. I heard that the event is gonna be an hour long, and so you should pre-mod your characters beforehand and have them ready to go. And I think that the event will go throughout the day. There might be you might be able to do it a second time. So you should start off with the hardest tier first, and then work your way down, because there's first time rewards for each tier. And the first time rewards for the second to last tier will be better than redoing the very last tier, if that makes any sense.
Right. And then Smithy, how are you on your Luke?
He's 6-star gear 11.
Okay. I do not have Luke Skywalker. I have not had any inkling or any gumption to farm him, because I have had other priorities that I have been focusing in on. Right? If you look, I will pull it up for everybody to look at. These are the characters I'm working on, and they're characters that I frankly are more important on the food chain for me than Luke Skywalker, which is sad to say, but it was Farm Boy Luke, and he just wasn't a character that I remotely was working on for the longest time. It was Rex, it was Darth Maul, it's Nihilus, it's Sith Assassin, it's Death Trooper. I was working on the clones. I'm working on General Kenobi. I'm working on R2D2. I got Cassie and Jin. I mean, I've got a lot of characters that I'm trying to gear, mainly gear, but I am farming some of them. Now I have to stop what I'm doing. I probably will not get a chance to participate in this event tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to work, but if I have to have a 6-star Luke Skywalker, I will not be able to do it. I think the event is cool. I applaud CG for their concept of the event. I think it's different and it's fresh. However, the fact that I now have to stop doing everything I can and then focus on this character. I don't know what we're going to get tomorrow. They didn't say how many shards. They just said Luke shards. I guess the last tier requires your Luke. He needs to get at least 6 stars. So for the last tier, I guess I'm going to have to get a 6-star Luke to complete it. Now, depending on what the rewards are going to be, a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people that I've talked with have not worked on Luke because they've had other priorities. Question for the panel. Do you think it's smart for CG
Go for it.
that people that probably have not been working on Luke, because let's face it, there are other characters that they've had to work on, that take higher priority for gear, for stars, for ships, for everything else. Luke's probably at the bottom of the rung. Now, for some of you guys, probably didn't have anything else to work on like Grande, and you got Luke, through other means. Do you think this is smart by CG to basically tell everyone, stop what you're doing, farm Luke now to participate in this event?
Yes.
You think it is smart? Smithy, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah, so as I was saying, what are you getting from this event? It's going to be some Omegas, gear and stuff, and Zeta is the final.
Mm-hmm.
Zeta kind of thing. I think it's said as well that this is the start. Does it say it's the start of Luke's journey? And there's going to be more update in August. On the exact kind of thing on it. So it could be that you're going to need to have Luke throughout this journey, where he's going to then unlock maybe Jedi Luke. Well, I don't think it'll be so simple. I think there's going to be a series of these events where Luke's involved, and it's just going to build up through his lifetime or something, Luke's journey. And I think it'll start with this, then it'll move on. Maybe the next one in August could be him and Old Ben, for example. You have to have him and Old Ben until it comes to the very end to get Bespin Luke to go through his journey. You're going to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G character, but they're going to be doing it at a slow pace where in between you're going to be getting the rewards for it. That's how I'm thinking that they may introduce Bespin Luke, is this way, and they're going to be slowly building up. And you're going to have, if you haven't got the characters, then it'd be a good time to farm them, I guess. But who knows what's going to happen if Luke's going to be part of the next event. But I'd imagine so. I think it's kind of like a build-up.
Anybody else?
I think that it's
Go ahead,
possible. Go ahead,
Lucan.
Grande.
No, go ahead,
No,
Lucan.
Nukin.
Okay. I think that it's possible that you might need Luke later on. I think it's totally reasonable that there might be another character such as Old Ben or someone that you might have to gear up. I think for these type of events that they're tiered based, the first few tiers may actually allow you to use a Luke, even though you may not even have them unlocked. But I assure you that I think that whatever the final tier is, or I'm not sure if they're calling it a bonus tier like the assault battles,
That's what
you probably
I'm
need to bring your own Luke.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And he probably needs to be at least gear 8, if not between gear 9 and gear 11, somewhere between that. I think maybe if you have really good mods, maybe you can get away with an extra gear level, not having to take him up all the way. But if we're going to end up reusing Luke, you might as well try to take him to gear 10. I don't think he's that difficult to gear up, actually. He's not the best character to use. The rewards may not be worth it to gear him up because you like 1 Zeta and a few Omegas, and you can get that in less than a week. So I wouldn't necessarily gear him up until you actually see what the rewards are when the event launches.
Okay. But we may only get like an hour, right? I mean, that's what it's looking like, is it's real quick.
Yeah, that's the other thing. These events that are like a 1 hour thing, people have other lives. They have to work, they have family, Grande's in jail. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, I mean, do you think it's smart from CG to be doing these like 1 hour events to where you only have that 1 hour window to try to get this character? I mean, how do we feel about that as a panel? Start with Loki.
I think that it's 10. It's 10 in the morning, right, for everyone here.
I don't know when it's going to kick off. I mean, Grande, we do know for sure.
Yeah, so at least for me, I think it's dependent on everybody. So for me, it kicks off in 15 hours. But I know some people have already tried it. So 15 hours for me, puts it, 12 hours puts it at 8. So that puts it at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon and 11 o'clock in the morning for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you East Coasters, but you guys it may say 14 hours for you. And I think that potentially for somebody like Smithy D, it may say something like, maybe it's happening in 6 hours. What does it say for you, Smithy?
Let's have a look. I think it's 9 hours. So
yeah, and it'll be like around 10 or 11 o'clock for you in the morning.
Yeah, I think so, about 11.
Yeah, so it's based on your reset time, and also you're already on the double rewards for light side, right?
Yeah.
He's already on the double rewards for light side because all these things are now based on your reset and not based on whenever CG turns them on or turns them off. Probably a smarter idea, actually, because some of that stuff, like for Smithy, was turning on and turning off whenever you were asleep, wasn't it? Like It was not. It's better to have everything based around your reset, so that if somebody's in another country, it makes more sense for them.
True.
That's true.
Why 10 in the morning though? It's so random.
I know. I mean, most people are at work at that time. I don't know.
I mean, how about 10 in the morning on a Saturday? Like, why on a Thursday?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why? I mean, it is the 40th anniversary tomorrow, so I understand that part. But couldn't they have pushed this aspect to, they could give us a bunch of rewards and we could have done a bunch of stuff and been like, yay, 40 years of Star Wars,
They
right?
they could have done it 1 hour after ships payout. Or they could have done it, 1 hour before PvP payout.
Yeah, they could have still done
yeah.
Thursday, but just not 10 in the morning, right?
I remember. I remember sitting on the jailhouse crapper, getting ready for my first tournament, and having to tell everybody, "Excuse me, I need my phone out of the lockup so I can get in the tournament." Yeah, and having to. So I mean, some of the times in this game, it's very unusual. Some of the times that turns on and turns off in this game have been very unusual to me. Agreed.
So,
but is there ever going to be a perfect time for somebody? I mean, you're never going to satisfy everyone.
Well, no, but I would think more at night, where people are off work and stuff like that, where they have a little bit more chance to, hit the event than in the middle of the day where a lot of people are working and stuff like that. I mean, it just seems like, to me, it's just an odd start. I don't know. I mean, am I off?
So
here?
Loki, what do you think? What do you think of this event?
Well, for me, I think it starts noon, so it just, I think EA's in California, so it's good for me because I'm on the West Coast, so I'm not really complaining.
Oh, Mr. California, Mr.
Well, you can be in Washington State and you can be in Oregon too, but
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, it starts for Smithy in like 6 hours, 7 or
9 hours.
9 hours.
Yeah, and I think, I think there's people that already did it, so
yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's odd. I agree.
Has anyone got any Luke shards yet? From
Nothing.
Yeah, there's a couple of dudes that showed screenshots of what their rewards were on some different chats I'm in.
Okay.
And they've also said that it appears as though you have to have a level 85 Gear 9 Luke to finish the last tier, the bonus tier.
Yeah, because I think it's a solo. It's your own Luke, and it's a solo. That's what I've been hearing.
Yep.
So if you don't have that kind of Luke, are you going to be missing out on major rewards? From what you're seeing,
I think it's the Zeta and the 3 Omegas. I think it's on the bonus tier.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you guys done the bonus tier first?
Yes,
that's
because
the bonus tier.
all tries are shared across it. So you only get 2 tries. So make sure you try the bonus tier first.
Wow. Okay.
Got you. So is the event coming back later in the day as well? Is there 4 times?
I think it comes back every couple of hours.
I think it's every few hours, and it should always be about an hour long. They might have like 4-hour events, they said, but I think it's going to be about an hour long, and at least come back about 2-3 times during the same day.
Yeah. So the Zeta is only the first time, though, isn't it? You're not going to get that each time you do it, is it?
I don't know.
I think the Zetas and the Omegas are only the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it dropping some good gear?
So I think it's going to come a total of 3 times probably, and and like I said, you should probably do the first time rewards for each tier, because that will give you the most value instead of redoing a tier that you've already done.
Yeah.
Right. First time rewards makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. Also, Finn put this in here, but he's like, when Jedi Knight Anakin make more sense than slaying Tuskens? Does anybody want to answer that question? I mean, I don't even know how that ties in. Finn, what's wrong with you?
So, sort of, he's right.
And then he's like, why does killing Tuskens reward you with Jawa scavenger shards? Aren't Tuskens droids? Finn, shame on you. I don't even know if I want to. I don't even want to acknowledge that you.
I think we can leave that one alone.
Yes, everybody boo Finn. Boo this man. God, trolling us in our own agenda. I award you no points, Finn, and may God have mercy on your soul. So the next thing that we're going to... So this event, we kind of touched on a little bit, but let's get into this more. Does regular Luke, doing this mean Jedi Luke is coming? And of course, we've got to go to Smithy D on this. With this event, do you think now that they're starting this path of Luke. Do you think Jedi Luke's coming, and how soon do you think he's coming?
I don't think Jedi Luke's coming. I think Empire Luke's coming, and I think
Luke with a lightsaber. That's what I mean.
yeah. I'd imagine so. Yeah, I hope so. I don't know how long it could go on for. It could be like 6 months of these stuff.
We could, easily have 6 months of this.
Anybody else thoughts on this pathway? Do we think it's going to lead to us having Luke Skywalker in the game with a lightsaber? And what's going to happen to Farm Boy and Luke? Are we going to have Farm Boy Luke and Luke Skywalker, or are we all going to get new update? Do you have to go get Farm Boy Luke to do these events, and then you can go get Bespin Luke? I mean, how do we think this is going to play out?
We have multiple versions of Han Solo in the game.
Yeah,
right. We have multiple versions of Leia in the game. We have multiple. Anakin didn't turn into Vader, so my guess is it's a whole new character.
Yeah, could be. But I'm saying, will they have to get? Will they have to get Farm Boy Luke, then go down the path to get, like, say, Bespin Luke? Is what I'm asking. I mean, will people have to unlock
probably like
Tatooine Luke first?
I would think like Bespin Luke shards, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But I kind of envision, the next Flash event being, Luke meeting up with old Ben, and old Ben gives him the lightsaber, right? And then they're in the Millennium Falcon, and maybe they release the Episode 4 Millennium Falcon at that same time, and they throw a helmet on him, and he does his little training bot exercises, and then Farm Boy Luke gets a rework like he's supposed to, like what Boba Fett did. They gave him his gun, right? Mm-hmm. So I can see that happening, and then it just continues going on through all the movies, right? It's a way for them to get money out of us somehow. So I can see it going down that path, and then it's just unlocking different characters or ships or versions of Luke, in the end, I guess.
Okay. All right. So one of the other things too was there was a message at the end of the thing, shrouded in secrecy but worth the wait. What do we think this means?
It's probably not a light side character.
No. It's not a light side character. Grande, your thoughts of this? Or go ahead, Smithy.
So sorry, can you repeat that again? What it said?
It said shrouded in secrecy, but worth the wait.
I'd say that's Luke Skywalker.
You think so?
Yeah, he was shrouded in secrecy, wasn't he? His whole existence was on Tatooine.
Okay. Anybody else? Any thoughts on this? Okay. So we'll see what happens. Go ahead, Grande.
I think there's all kinds of stuff. Let's look at characters that are shrouded in secrecy, right? So
there's Grande. There's Smithy. Yeah. Oh, you mean in game?
Oh yeah. I mean in game. So shrouded in secrecy to me seems like it's seems dark side to me. I could be wrong, but I mean you're right. You're right about Luke Skywalker being shrouded in secrecy, so no one knew about him. But besides that, there's a lot of characters that were quote unquote shrouded in secrecy. You can go all the way back to Knights of the Old Republic. Potentially, we could get a character there. We also got, when we look at the Phoenix group, right, and characters that were released with Phoenix. We've seen a dark side Phoenix character yet. I would not be surprised if we saw one dark side. One
Saxon,
dark side
didn't
Phoenix. We? Do what now?
Saxon.
Yeah, you're right. We got Saxon and Trooper, I guess, and Imperial Commando.
Do you think it's Thrawn?
I'm kind of leaning towards maybe Thrawn, or maybe or maybe somebody else like you could do a Thrawn, you could do an Agent Callus, or you could put 2 Inquisitors in. I could easily see them throwing us a bone. We got 4 dark side characters, or we got 5, 6 light side characters, and then we got 2 dark side characters, and then we got Fulcrum, Ahsoka, and we got R2 at the same time. the light side and they haven't pushed any dark side in a while. I would like, and when we did, we got 3 and then we got 2. So they're kind of short on dark side, which leads me to believe that this shrouded in secrecy thing could be Thrawn, could be Inquisitors, could be Agent Callus.
What about a Leia rework?
Even though, well, you could get a Leia rework, but Leia's not really shrouded in secrecy.
Well, the whole Skywalker, isn't she? Yeah, that's what I mean. If this event, so if it's following this Luke event and pretty much what's ahead, then that could be the next big thing. You know, we've got. It could also be the revealing of the new game mode because that's shrouded in secrecy as well.
But worth the
You
wait.
make a good point. We still have a fan favorite that's supposed to come this coming month, though, right? And we haven't seen it yet. So if we start looking at fan favorites, that we're supposed to have a fan favorite for June, and what that fan favorite would look like for June, and they've already said that the Luke thing is going to continue in August. So August is not June. So that leaves us something big more that still has to happen in June.
My bets are on Thrawn.
Yeah, I'm going for Thrawn.
It's got to be Thrawn.
I'm going all in on Thrawn. I'm telling you,
It's got to be dark side, and it's got to be Thrawn or Inquisitors.
Well, yeah, because what I remember someone telling me that why? Okay, we've got Ahsoka coming. Okay, so we know that for sure. So that's going to change things up a little bit. There is no point them releasing or giving away Luke right now because it's just going to be a tune on top of a tune. You know, a rebel on top of the rebel. Mm-hmm. There has to be a shift and there has to be a complete balance change from Rex for that character to come directly in, kind of like how Palpatine did, and just change the meta instantly.
That's right.
You know, and I think that's what has to happen when they bring in these iconic characters. Like R2 is kind of like one piece of the puzzle. You know, he's going to have purpose throughout the game where you can use him. You know, at the minute, it's Rex teams. Wait until you get more rebels. Wait until you get more resistance. Wait till you get more droids. You know, it's going to be endless what you're going to be able to do with that little fella. So yeah, I just think.
So
I think it's Thrawn.
So here's the deal: is it a legendary event or is it a marquee event for Thrawn?
I think all fan favorites a legend event.
So now, if you do a legendary event for Thrawn, who do you need to have in order to make the legendary event work?
Whoa, we think we're gonna have another legendary event back-to-back months?
You're damn right.
I mean, we're just talking outside of the box here, right?
Uh-huh.
We all said we're doubling down. I mean, it's double drop week. Let's double down on Thrawn, right? So if it's double down on Thrawn and it's a marquee event, which characters would you need to bring in for Thrawn?
I think Phoenix.
So now we're saying you got to have a 7-star group of Phoenix characters in order to go in. In order to go in on Thrawn.
Well, it would make sense because they're either the same faction or the opposite faction. We've already used Rebels to get Palpatine. Phoenix technically are also Rebels. I would hate to gear up Phoenix, though.
I would too.
No, not even gear them up. Star them up. Think about
how are you going to get 7-star Phoenix?
I mean, they just did put them in chromiums and release them into the shard shop. But it's like,
exactly.
but
it's not far-fetched.
Oh, God.
So can you imagine a legendary event that needed?
Oh, God.
That needed it needed 5 Phoenix characters to 7-star, and it needed them at level 85 and gear 8 in order to get Thrawn.
Yeah. I would call them insane if they did that.
Talk about a very elusive and exclusive character, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, by the time the event probably comes out, they'll probably be free to play.
Maybe
they might be free to play, but who's taking them from 4-star? I mean, once you get them 5-star, you've gotten half the shards. So you still need 180 shards, even if they're free to play. Let's say they're free to play. Let's say they drop them in. Let's say they drop one in arena, one in GW. They drop one into Cantina. They drop one into Guild. They drop one into Fleet. They drop one on a hard note, and they drop one in Cantina. So they're all over the place, right? So you can farm them all at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I still feel like it's going to take you a month to get
Yeah,
him.
but that's the way it was before when they brought out the Palpatine. Not everybody got him first time round, and the same with the Yoda.
Right, but
there were rebels
so
in the game for months beforehand, though.
yeah, there were rebels in the game for you know
And Empire
Palpatine
was the
came
same
out
thing.
and there were plenty of time with Empire, and even with Jedi when you went for when because Yoda came out before Guilds came out, right? So Yoda came. So game came out in January, and by April we had the first Yoda event. Maybe by sometime in April, maybe middle of April. So you had 3 or 4 months to work on your Jedis.
Yeah.
But now not everybody's going to have 3 or 4 months to work on Phoenix in order to get Thrawn. I mean, it's a huge move. It's a huge move to say marquee event and it needs Phoenix characters.
Yeah.
It would be easier to say something like this. It's a legendary event for Thrawn, and it takes Imperial troopers because Thrawn came from the Imperial troopers, and all the Imperial troopers have been out for quite some time. So getting 5 Imperial troopers wouldn't be the
I could see that because Imperial troopers are Empire, and they're the same faction, sort of.
In sort of an odd way, right? They're like a sub-faction.
Yeah.
So you could potentially say Imperial troopers easier than you could say Phoenix. Plus, they've given us multiple opportunities to get 80 shards for $20, right? And they've given us, and they're all farmable and have been farmable for a very, very, very long time. That would be a little easier to swallow, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, I think it's Night Sisters for Thrawn.
Get out of here. I knew. Just eat a turd. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. Fulcrum has been announced. Ahsoka is going to be the marquee event. So what are our thoughts on Ahsoka? The character model. Shard pack, I think it's supposed to be 5 to 330 shards. Good idea. How much we think the bundle pack is going to be worth? How much they should charge? What are our thoughts on Ahsoka and how they plan to release her? The whole kit and caboodle. Who wants to start off with that? Smithy, you've had a chance. You put out a video, right, of Ahsoka that people can check out. What were your thoughts?
Yeah. She's pretty decent.
I mean, you gave
pretty
her.
Decent,
you gave her what? Not heroic, but what was the next level below that? Hero.
I was okay. So there's tiers. So there's superhero, then there's hero, vigilante, then villain. I gave her hero.
Okay, and based off what you got to do and mess around with her and play around with her and stuff, just you gave her pretty high marks. There's some good things about her that you liked, right?
Yeah, definitely. She's great. She's a great character.
Okay, so based off,
she's a great character indeed.
Is she going to be a game-changing, meta-changing kind of character?
Hard to say at this point. It depends. With all these Rex leads,
you're
going to have to probably change your team a little bit and go more Rebels, Sharif Bays, or even go Jedi. We're talking, even though she's not a Jedi, and this is something that David was saying in my line chat, that pretty much you can just use Yoda. Okay, all the Jedi are going to go, put all their buffs up, then you just use out of the gate a special to do the attack straight away, come back, then steal the buffs again, kind of thing, and go that way. So there's going to be many ways that you can utilize her. Sorry. But yeah, she seems great. She's going to be great for the offense. Defense, she's definitely going to be a priority to take down. You don't want to be leaving her in check.
Right. What do we?
And now that
Go ahead.
Sorry, carry on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying that now that they've identified Nihilus as a bug, that's made her a lot stronger because potentially, or she's just not going to have her cooldowns increase, so it's kind of a buff to her and characters that rely on getting their abilities out the gate.
Right. What do you? How do you? The announcers are going to be doing. How I guess 5 to 330 shards, that kind of thing. I mean, with the marquee event and everything, do we think they need to do like a Bubba pack event or a pack where you pay a certain amount for 80 shards and stuff like that? Um, what do we think of how they're gonna put her out there for people to get her?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
But they-
I mean they're gonna do a $10 pack to get the next star level, so it's gonna be 3-star. Then you pay then you pay $10.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Like kind of like
Is it-
how
Yeah.
Nihilus was
It's kind of like
initially.
everybody's from Nihilus on has been basically, or everybody from.
Didn't they announce it that they were doing shards where you can get a pack for 80 shards of that?
I think so.
They haven't said that yet, but I can almost guarantee you there will be a pack. There's gonna be a pack that's like 5 to 300 or whatever, and then there's gonna be 5 to 30, and then there's gonna be a pack. Then there's gonna be some packs that are like for $10 or whatever that's like 80 shards. I mean, that's how they've normally done it. I can't see them. They've done that model now for.
Haven't they? They've changed the model. Have a look.
They haven't changed the. Have you seen something different than that?
Yeah, on the forums, it was put on that one of the packs. I think the booster packs, you get 80 shards, and then in these kind of like
Mini
what is
packs.
it? Whatever they cost, 1,200 crystals. There's a chance where you can get up to 330 shards
Right.
instead of 30
Yeah.
shards, kind of thing.
So you're gonna get. So it's probably gonna be a funny pack. We'll see how it goes. So there's gonna be the code name Fulcrum Bundle, which is 80 shards, and then there's going to be the Fulcrum Pack, which is between 5 and 330. It's probably going to be either 5 or 330. Like it's not going to be anything in the middle. I mean, you remember how those other packs were? It was either 5 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get anything. You didn't get 15 one time. You either got 5 or you got 30. Potentially, too, that's a misprint, and it's not between 5 and 330. Potentially, it's 5 and up to 30.
Yeah, that pack again.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not waiting.
That's
Don't
potentially.
if that's what it is. I'm telling you right now. Don't. No. Sorry, I
It's
didn't like that
potentially a
pack.
misprint.
Yeah, if it's 5 to 30, I'm going to tell you right now. Don't. The 81 is a good investment. I've always liked those kind of packs. It's well worth it. But the 5 to 31, don't waste.
So you think that there's going to be a command bundle like what they're doing with Tarkin, $20 for 80 shards? Because I don't see that. Usually it's for the
right here.
rework
It says
characters.
code name Fulcrum Bundle. Power up Ahsoka Fulcrum with the code name Fulcrum Bundle. Pack contents include 80 character shards, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, credits, XP droids, and ability mats.
There you go.
Then there
And
is
that's on
another
the
one
forum?
called. Then there's another. Yeah, it's on the forums. Code name Fulcrum Pack. Level up Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum by purchasing this new limited time pack. Each pack guarantees at least 5 shards of Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, with a chance to get up to 330 shards.
If it's 330 shards, then I change my tune. But I think that's got to be. They meant to say between 5 and 30.
Potentially it's miswritten, or potentially it's a new pack where you're going to get, you're going to pull this pack 80 times, and then on your last pull, right, you need 5 shards. You need 5 shards to get to 330, and they're going to blow it. They're going to blow a 330 on you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
$700 later.
Now they did say on the Galactic War Report podcast that the developers it was a developer, it was Top Hat and Jesse on there, and they said they were considering bending the rules of the character cadence that they're rolling out. So Ahsoka might potentially become free to play quicker than usual than some other characters as well. And if that's the case, then maybe you want to hold off on buying any of her packs.
That's true. I mean, that's a valid point. And that kind of segues us into the next thing, which is Phoenix Squadron and Chromium and Fleet Packs. Thoughts of where they are placed right now, and of course they had the Ghost Ship fix. So Phoenix is now in Chromium, and I think they are in shipments now too, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I wrong on that?
They are in shipments. Yeah.
So
we had a couple of things that happened here. The first one is that we had a price drop on Rogue One characters. So the chromium cost for all Rogue One went down if you're buying them in shipments, and then the Phoenix Squad went to that top line of characters at the little bit higher price. You kind of got that one going on, and then you did also get, if you look in the chromium packs in the chromium packs, you got all of the Rogue Ones in the chromium packs now. And so that's that. And then I think they also went into the fleet. I don't know if it went into the fleet data card.
Yeah.
So yeah, it went into the fleet data card, and it also went into the mega packs too, I believe. So they went into the mega packs, and also too, when they went into the mega packs, it also meant that Sabine went into the mega packs. And all of the Phoenix Squadron went into the mega packs as well. Excuse me, not all. Sabine went into mega packs. Hera went into mega packs, but sense. Not the others went into mega packs.
Makes sense. All right. Anything we want to dwell on that at all? I mean, it's just their cadence of just moving the characters to the next round of where they're going to be able to be purchased and stuff.
So I think that the rest of the Rogue One characters aren't
Phoenix. Calling it Rogue
Phoenix.
One.
The Phoenix is in Phoenix. All the Phoenix characters are in the regular chromiums.
Yeah, but we were also talking about that the Rogue One characters were reduced earlier, right, Grande?
That's correct. The Rogue One characters were reduced.
What's interesting is the Short Trooper came out before Rogue One, right? And he's still the full price, which I'm not sure why he's still the full price. I think I understand why Director Krennic is the full price, because he came about a month or so after like Jin and Baze. But for some reason, Short Trooper hasn't been reduced yet. I'm not sure if that's a bug, if it was like an oversight, but he should also be reduced by now, right?
Let's go. Wow. Yeah, I've just seen it. Baze Malbus. Well, I'm glad I got him when I did, because that'd take forever to 7-star him at 150. Because they hardly show up, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Or do they?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Now when he's at the 150 mark, you're only going to get 3 characters, and now he's in with all the other characters at the 3s instead of those first 3 slots across the top, and that one slot on the one next down is only done with those characters that are in the rotation.
Yeah. It's just every other character in the game, isn't it? Pretty much. Talia.
So it's gonna take a while.
Whew.
But it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, I've got my Short Trooper 7 stars. I'm glad I'm done with that fool. But I don't have Luke. Oh Lord.
You could refresh shipments for Luke, but you can't even pull chromiums for Luke.
No, but Luke's in the guild store. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can refresh guild store.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can get Jin shards, or you can get Luke Skywalker.
I already have Jin done. I already have Maul done. I already have Rex done. I already have Cody and all them done. This is Luke. All right, so moving on to the next thing is mod drop rate 100%. There's been no time limit given. Is this permanent? Thoughts of this?
CG Kazakhspoon confirmed that it is indeed permanent.
Wow.
And the drop rate is here to stay. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, because
explain.
We asked for a better mod drop rate, and they gave us 100%. It seems a little like something's coming up, and I think everyone knows what I'm talking about.
No,
potentially,
say it.
All right,
the third rail of SWGOH is getting ready to get dropped.
6-star mods. I don't think they'll release 7-star mods at the same time. I think they're going to go 6-star mods next, and I'm not sure if they will have 100% drop rate. They might have the old mod drop rate. So
it's also possible that you might get 6-dot mods, not from the same place you get 5-dot mods from.
Oh Lord.
potentially they could award them from the raids. I could see that as well. I mean, when they were first
Or
introduced,
potentially
that's how
a
they
new
were
area of the game.
introduced.
Yeah.
It would not be out of the realm of possibility for us to look at 6-dot mods.
What about if it was Guild v Guild?
Potentially you could look at Guild v Guild and 6-dot mods in Guild v Guild. Potentially you could look at 6-dot mods coming from raids. Potentially you could look at 6-dot mods from the new area, the new the new game mode, which allows you to use your entire roster and ships.
There's an event coming up, right?
There is an event
that actually will be the first assault battle. It's the Forest Moon one, where with all the Ewoks that just have like no health or whatever, but they hurt you a lot. There's going to be a mod reward there. Maybe we will get 6-star mods through events. I mean, they're already doing
that
it.
event though appears to only be dropping 4-dot and 5-dot mods, at least currently.
What's actually funny?
Well, there's no 6-star mods to drop right now.
What's actually funny is you can get 4-dot health, 4-dot defense, and 4-dot tenacity up mods from that reward, but then you don't get the 4-dot potency or the 4-dot speed. They're all. It's kind of weird how they did it.
It is very weird.
It looks funny. Yeah, it's just. I don't know.
I'm seeing that you can get 5-dot speed and potency online.
Right. But you can't get 4-dot speed.
Yeah, it's like they just threw it. I don't know. They just threw it together. It doesn't look. I don't know if it looks complete or not, but.
Well, I guess we're.
I see what you're talking about.
It's a little strange.
Yeah, but so what is our recommendation about these 5? Wait, I see Finn in here. Everyone.
Yes.
We might get. Oh my God, Finn! You're supposed to be.
I hopped on because.
Oh my God!
Discussing earlier with someone, and I had kind of an out-of-the-box idea about what they might do with 6-star mods. So I want to see what you guys think about it.
Is this a legitimate idea?
And this is a serious. This is a serious.
Yeah,
one.
no trolling, right? This
yeah,
is legit.
You're not
No,
very
this is legit.
trustworthy.
Well,
You already
that is
trolled
true.
us. You already trolled us
So-
with the damn agenda. I mean,
Hey, I was serious about that. Why
You
the
were-
hell are Jawa scavengers
that's
coming
not a
after
real.
you kill
That's
Tusken?
shame on you, Finn.
All right.
All right.
So if they're giving you 100% drop rates on the mods, right? So you're getting a bunch of mods. You'll probably get different ones from 3-star up to 5-star. What if they make it so you have to combine 5-star mods in order to create your 6-star? So for example, you have to combine 3 5-star arrow mods. That will create a 6-star mod, and you can pick which mod of stat that you pick, but it starts at level 1, so you have to re-level them. And that's why they're giving you so many mods, because you just combine them in order to create higher level ones.
Oh, it's like Diablo crafting.
Way to throw in the old Diablo reference there.
Yeah. So it is. It is pretty much like the
inspired you with that idea?
I like
Affinity?
it.
Yeah, that was kind of the inspiration. It's kind of the
I would
cushion
be
in
more
order to keep
comfortable
on
with
building.
that idea, actually. I mean, I'm actually okay with that idea.
Now,
That rewards you for what you've already got.
Mm-hmm.
Rewarding you for already putting a bunch of effort in mods to get more mods, to me, seems like a much better way than just, oh, hey, surprise, you're going to get one 6-dot mod every time you run a Rancor. Yeah.
do you think you would have to level them up all the way to 15 before you could combine them, theoretically, if this was a thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
That would be my
theoretically.
Yeah, they're gonna make you spend some credits.
315 levels.
So instead of the Herodric cube, we get the holocron, and if you throw a bunch of mods in it, then you hit the transmute button, and then like a bronzonium gear pops out, right? And you'd be pissed off.
Wait.
That'd be awful.
Oh my God.
You throw them into the Fulcrum Ahsoka transceiver, and all of a sudden the other side comes out a 6-dot mod.
There's a horrifying thought. What do you mean? I threw 3 5-dot mods. I got a 3. What is this? The pain and anguish that would be on the forums would be delicious.
You got some cup shards, huh? For your 5. That's what Diablo was, though, right? Remember, you can throw in some good stuff, and then
the new fan favorite is female cup, right? It's female cup, and so if you put in three 5-dot level 15 mods, you could either get a 6-dot mod or between 5 and 330 shards for female cup.
Oh my god! Oh god! Horrifying.
I could see him doing it though. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, in all seriousness, I think we should be able to upgrade our mods.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to re-roll our mods as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a ton of mods that I've got level 9 that I've just from farming that I haven't used. I haven't sold them, but I've just got them sitting there. And good lord, it'd be nice to do something with them.
I mean, I would have agreed with you before they made 100% drop rate because it was so hard to get the mods.
Yeah.
But now that they're giving 100% drop rate, I don't know if re-rolling is really necessary.
That's true.
I mean, this could simply be though they're making the mods more available for that new event, right? Where you got to dump your roster. So that could be another possibility.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be 100% drop rate before until they changed it because they said the community asked for the change. So,
what?
The same.
What community was this?
The same community that wanted 5s to get nerfed, right? With his speed down.
I mean, was the community from NBC? I mean,
no, I don't know. But they said that there's probably people complaining on the forums about the mods.
If you're
the only people,
yeah,
go ahead.
Now, if you're a person complaining about that on the forums, shut up, because you ruined it for the rest of us.
What do you think they're taking? What do you think they're taking attention off Kylo because everybody was mentioning it? If you nerf Nute, you have to do Kylo or leave Nute alone. So pretty much they're fixing Nute. And they're like, you know what, guys? You know that you said that if we fix Nute, we've got to fix Kylo. Okay, yeah, we'll do that too. And they left it at the bottom.
That's what I'm saying about the slippery slope. Next thing we know, it's going to be Turpentine, and it's going to be the Zeta Vader team, and it's going to be, you know what? We're gonna nerf Princess Zodi again. I mean, it just
they
burns me up a little bit.
Capital Games did a poll with some of the communities out there, and they were wanting to see their opinion on Kylo Ren. And the way that they asked the question was, it was like, do you think that Kylo Ren, I'm paraphrasing, should be able to solo the heroic AAT Phase 1? And there was 524 people that were polled, and 303 people said yes. And 221 people said no. So it was about 60-40.
Who are you?
It was about 60-40. That's pretty close. Like, it's not 50-50, but it's close to 50-50. So half the people think yes, half the people think no.
Madness. Absolute madness.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you people? Good lord.
The people that didn't Zeta Kylo?
I mean, but if you could do it and it helps your guild, think big picture. Jesus. I mean, sometimes people do
maybe,
stuff.
Yeah, but maybe it's the people that said no is the ones that don't use it.
Yeah.
And the people, and it's the people that said yes were the ones that actually use him.
Unbelievable.
Going back to Ahsoka, going back to Ahsoka real quick, I just worry that, with the whole Nute thing happening, that she doesn't get nerfed either, because she does, correct me if I'm wrong, she dispels every turn. Is that what it says? But somebody's going to be somebody's going to be complaining. Is it supposed to be her turn, or it's every turn? It's not fair, and it's the same thing with Nute, right? Like, it was working, but then people complained about it, right? So they made it their turn, right, is what it says.
Yeah, but that's her Achilles heel. That's why she's so powerful. It's because of that. The debuffs. You can just put a ton of debuffs on her and kill her. Well, she won't die, but you get what I mean. She'll pretty much have no health left. So pretty much, Tarkin is going to destroy Ahsoka. That's a good one. You heard it from me first. Because he can just put them on her, pretty much straight away. She's a rebel. She cannot resist it, can she? So Tarkin's like stuff like that, with his like offense down and all that stuff, she's gonna just eat it up and dispel it straight away, but it's then gonna do what, 20% damage to her? Yeah, there's gonna be loads of characters. It's gonna be then again more of a debuffing team that's gonna take it down. So if you got the right team, and let's say hypothetically Tarkin comes out, not Tarkin, Thrawn. Let's say Thrawn comes out and Thrawn's a badass and he's crazy good. Then could that see the end of Ahsoka?
It's an interesting point.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
She could have a bit time where she's released, where she just runs riot. Maybe a balance in June that.
I think that you're right, Smithy. You know, she does cleanse all the debuffs, but it leaves her very vulnerable. And, you know, all you need to do is, you know, Sith Assassin or Savage or both, and then she's just dead. You know, congratulations, you cleansed like 6 debuffs, but now you're less than 50% HP. I'm just going to kill you now. So I don't think she's broken. She has counters.
Yeah. She can do some amazing attacks. There's attacks that she can do, like can KO. Impressed. Except for Sith Trooper. Gonna have a hard time against Sith Trooper. Did you see it in the video where she was doing non-crits for like 2.5k hits each? She's a great character, but at the same time, her counter is slapping lots of debuffs on her, lots and lots, and she's gonna then just reduce her health every time you take a turn. So she doesn't even have to take a turn, and she can have no health.
No, that's brilliant.
She can't die from it because it can't kill her. Because that would just be weird that she just self-kills herself. But you could drop all her health to like 1 or 0, and then just a little flick. Boom, she's gone. But yeah, people are going to use her and beat any team with her because she's going to be great for the offense. There's going to be some good teams out there that people are going to build. But at the same time, if you're going against her, then I think the rework Tarkin's going to be a good one against her because he can just put those debuffs on her no matter what. Even if she's got tenacity up, she's going to then... It's unresistible, isn't it?
Yeah, rebels cannot resist it.
So.
We will see, definitely. All right, let's move on to the last topic, and then we'll get to some questions. And let's see, 40th anniversary double drops. What is going to be the best way to prep for this? And let's talk about the anniversary gift. Have they announced what it? I mean, I know we're getting Luke's stuff, but is there anything else you think they're going to give us or do anything for the 40th anniversary? What is our thoughts on the double drops? Anybody who would like to chime in, please do.
On the week double drop stuff?
Yeah, the double drops, the 40th anniversary stuff, anything that tickles your fancy.
I think that... Okay, this is kind of an out there thing to do, and I think some people might already know what this is because we've had like double drops in Cantina before. But if you haven't already, it's not too late. You should be buying Cantina refreshes, but not spending your Cantina currency except for to do your daily quests, and then unloading when there's either the double mod drop day or the double character shard drop day. Mm-hmm. I think the double mod drop day will probably end up being better for you. And there's 2 days. There's the 27th and the 29th. And it's going to end up costing you somewhere between like 1,500 to 2,500 crystals to do this. You will lose the daily Cantina currency, like natural collection rate. But that is a small sacrifice to basically have, you know, somewhere between 300 to 600 mods on that double drop day when you unload everything. So that's something to keep in mind. I think there's a double Galactic War drop or something like that.
Yep.
So just like how on Tuesdays you save up like 2 or 3 Galactic Wars, you should save up your Galactic Wars for that particular day. I think it's, what is it, Friday? I can't remember.
Yeah, it means you don't do them now. So Ratmaster Yoda from my guild has a video on YouTube of exactly what to buy and when to buy it. and he's worked up a whole spreadsheet, and he's given everybody access to the spreadsheet. So if you look on YouTube, Rapmaster Yoda has basically showed the best way to min-max the whole thing. I know Finity's got a bunch of stuff, kind of like spreads and like logos and stuff that he's worked on for the Reality Skewed Gamers, at least for Cantina and for mod drops. But this guy worked it out for every day, like how to spend the least number of crystals and yet maximize your double drops on everything. And he worked that up, and he's given everybody access to that spreadsheet. So if you'll just do a YouTube search for Rapmaster Yoda, Rap R-A-P Master, I think it is. Yoda.
He's on YouTube.
He's
He's on YouTube, and he's already done it. He's already done a video on it.
Nice.
He's straight. All right. Anybody else on the thoughts of the anniversary stuff? Anything else? Okay. Let's go on to the last thing, of course, which is Ewok Scout has been added to Dark Side 90 hard. Anybody? 9B hard Ewok Scout. Thoughts on this? Anybody?
Huh?
I didn't think so. My question is why?
Didn't Ewok Scout already have a node?
He did. Actually,
Well,
like two extra nodes before, right?
Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, so he has
9B
8D hard, and now he has 9B hard. Right after Nihilist, because after you get Nihilist, you want to make sure you're farming those
Whoa.
scout shards.
They must be listening to the community. They must be listening to one of the questions that were asked.
To? Who are these people?
I
want to meet these people.
No,
It's whoever.
I would like to talk to you
Whoa.
people today about the stupid things that you were doing.
One of the questions that were asked. Okay,
you cannot request.
Wait. Wait, this is one of the questions asked to the devs. Okay?
Because it doesn't make the sense.
Wait. One of the questions that were asked to the devs, and I think it was on Shattered Order or on a podcast, was would they be open to having these only hard node characters on multiple nodes? I think there were some bays they gave us.
Yeah, because the deal is that we needed another guy, character that had a 55% chance to remove 50% turn meter on his face, because that's how you're gonna solo the Rancor. It's with Chewbacca and Tusken Raider and Ewok Scout. You're gonna create a team like that. And because by the time you've gotten to 9B hard, the only thing you're like, oh, thank God, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have finished
Maybe.
without that.
Okay.
Because you also get him on 1A light side. Just in case
Whoa,
didn't realize that he's the first freaking hard node you ever get a chance to do. The last hard node you get on dark side.
Who are these people?
What happens if you need four Ewoks and Luke Skywalker to unlock Jedi Luke?
Wrong. The first time we see, because you're gonna need, because you know what? By the time Skywalker is going through his path, Return of the Jedi Luke, you're gonna need what? Endor Luke and 4 Ewoks.
So in chromiums, don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, he's in chromium.
Came out of chromiums, man. He is a gem.
He's everywhere. He's in
Bronzium. He in Bronzium?
Yeah, he is.
Maybe this is how we unlock Jedi Luke.
Let's. Okay, as funny as that is, let's try to make some sense out of it.
Okay, try.
Are we getting an Ewok Faction Pass, guys? Is that what's coming?
Wait, no, Wicket. No, fan favorite. We're gonna finally get Wicket.
Wicket.
I've been sitting here waiting for Wicket. But now that I have Ewok Scout at 9B,
so all of us that thought Thrawn, fan favorite character, Wrong. The fan favorite character is
wrong.
Wicket
You heard it here
from
first.
EA Celebration in Europe 18 months ago.
Listen, we're gonna make the
For the
Ewoks
Endor
great
raid
again.
coming.
They've been in China. We're gonna move them over here.
The
It's gonna be great.
Endor raid is going to happen, and in the Endor raid, the character you get to unlock is Wicket.
But
That's it.
But I just, who are these people? Stop it! Good Lord!
Tebow. So now you can get Tebow in GW.
Oh,
you can
wow.
get Ewok Elder on a couple of nodes and from the guild store.
Yeah.
And you can get Ewok Scout from Bronziums.
I thought
and 3
Chirpa
hard
only
nodes.
had one node.
So,
Chirpa's
Yeah, I think
Cantina,
Chirpa-
right?
so
Yeah.
Chirpa is Cantina only, like
Mhm.
5C or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. But
5D.
5D.
That Ewok series, right? The one that cartoon that was on VHS.
Oh, there's more.
Or maybe-
There was an actual show.
Maybe there-
It wasn't just a cartoon they had.
Now,
Had
the
Wilford
reason why we
Brimley.
need this is because the next the next legendary fan favorite character. And you need 4 Ewoks plus R2 to unlock C-3PO.
I think that'll happen at one point. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So.
But first we get Wicked.
Yeah.
No, but then you can't put R2 on the team.
Yeah.
So
Order.
Ooh.
so the next
That guy's wise.
Order.
So what if it is C-3PO as the next one? Like we've all been saying that the legendary character is C-3PO.
Well, you'd have to have Luke first.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to get Luke first. We could
Smithy's
next
World,
month
you
get
do.
C-3PO. I mean, we got R2. How many scenes are there with just R2 and not C-3PO? Not many.
Yeah, but if you had Ewoks that unlocked him, you'd have to have Luke. So
I
Just
know.
to-
I'm thinking that the reason for more ways to get Ewoks is because we need them for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, we
Put
got the event, right?
9B on a character that has a plethora of other places that you can get him. I'm just astounded. I'm just astounded at this move. Of all the characters that we're trying to farm right now.
You know what?
That
I
we-
think I think Ranger J 1999 was looking for another way to get Farm Boy Luke.
Oh, God forbid. You know, I mean, you could put any other character on there. I'm serious.
Not any other character.
Well, I mean,
mean-
the recent ones that have come out, you could have put, oh God, I could just start listing them, and it would make more sense than this. The move just baffles.
Death Trooper. No, we wouldn't be having this conversation if Death Trooper.
Oh
got
no,
hard
I
nose,
would have been applauding CG. I would have been like, great move, makes sense.
right?
I totally would.
We wouldn't. You know what? We wouldn't even be freaking out if a character like let's take another character. If Jen got a hard node,
I would be fine with that.
or if Cassian got a hard node.
Would be fine. I mean, I
Or
would be
if-
fine.
Ooh, here's one. We just had a faction rework. What if Tarkin got a hard node?
Well, holy smokes. I mean,
So,
any of those are great,
there's-
great suggestions, but, baffling. All right, so let's get to some questions. Let's see, get as many as we can. First one's from Cybershark. Is Tarkin worth it in a Palp or Vader team, lead team now? Smithy, what do you think? Tarkin in a Palp or Vader lead team now?
Still looking at it.
Okay.
To be honest, there's a lot of stuff to look into, but the footage I've got a load of leaderships kind of thing.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty decent in, he seemed pretty decent in a Palpatine.
I don't know what that was, but
Wait, this is why I was saying
You're
that you
looking at
need...
Ewoks porn right now?
Wait, what?
Num num. Eat up the num num. All right. Next questions from our boy Saladun. Oh, God, I always say this wrong. Saladun Abdallah. With the potential nerf to the metas for guild raid characters, what are our alternative characters who could be left out of the nerf list? I'm gonna read that again. With the potential nerf to the metas for guild raid characters, what are our alternative characters who could be left out of the nerf list? I would say we have no idea until we actually see what happens. Does anybody agree? Everybody agree with that, or any thoughts from anybody on the panel? Smithy, stop it.
Woman ass.
Oh God. All right. I really don't know, Saladin. It's going to be kind of hard until we actually see the nerf back come down. I'd say you're okay for now, but until we actually see the notes for bug fixes and such, just hang tight with that question. Probably have to get
I would just say in general, it's anything that has to do with turn meter or resetting of abilities.
That's a great
We'll
point.
probably get a nerf sooner or later.
Right. This is what I was saying. Luke has to come before all the Ewoks from C-3PO.
Past that,
This.
Smithy.
Right, yeah, well, I had to find it. It took a long time to find
Okay,
it.
go ahead, Smithy.
Help us very much.
Where the hell is he posting this from?
Tell them if they don't do as you wish, you'll become angry and use your magic. But Master, no.
Oh Lord! All right, next question
man.
from Knights Templar. I see Tarkin using Rancor. Any theory crafting or thoughts on AET I could use a Tarkin with, and what phase?
Yes,
you should,
we kind of talked about that
we
already.
talked about that one already. Yeah. So just listen earlier. We gave the team. Lucas T.
My boy Lucas.
What's Shadow doing
Dark
for his
Lord.
birthday? I don't know. I think he was going to a Sox game. I know that much. So I hope he's out there drinking and having a good old time. Ewok, we love you. Love you, brother. Hope you're having a great birthday. Next question.
Shadow Val is probably not going to a Red Sox game.
I'm sorry, Shadow Val.
Shadow
I keep
Val is
getting
probably going
Ewok
out with his wife.
Too many stuff. Yeah, they're going out. Ewok was going to the Sox game. That's why he couldn't be on.
Yes,
okay.
he was.
Got those confused. Sorry, this. No, I'm staring at this 9B. You know what? I got to move that off the screen. It's just making me more angry. Lucas T.
He asked another question.
Yeah, so now that most everyone has Vader, do you think that they will ever change the characters and achievements and add new achievements for the new characters? That's a great question. I would love to see that. I mean, it would be something to shoot for. What do you guys think?
I would too, because effectively, whenever I hit 10,000 arena battles, I'm going to get 3 Vader shards. I would love to see something else in that achievement besides 3 Vader shards at 10,000 arena battles. You like 20 of some character for 10,000 arena battles.
Maybe somebody like Luke. Just throwing it out.
Agreed.
Bespin Luke. All right. Next question from Martin Waterman. Question: is it still worth putting a Zeta on Vader? And can he still solo the Rancor?
Yes, you can still solo the Rancor. And yes, having a Zeta on Vader, having a Zeta on Vader is nice. Tasman the Legend asked the question. This question is straight up for Nukin. What is Kenobi Sync? He misspelled sync, but he spelled it like I'm gonna sync my phone, but
Kenobi Sync I have a really good educational video on my YouTube channel. Kenobi Sync is using Darth Maul and Kenobi is that can double attack in phase 1 of the heroic tank raid, and you're able to utilize Daemon to do about 1 million damage, and it's fairly quick. But you need a 7-star Kenobi, of course. I called it the Kenobi Sync because you need Kenobi for it, and these were originally kitchen sink heroes that never saw the light of day, and but now they actually make and actually it's the strongest single team in phase 1, so that's why it's called the Kenobi Sync.
Very nice. See, and you can check all that out on his channel.
You can KP 76 says, with Zeta Maul, what would people think is a beefy counter on defense? Gar Saxton lead, Stormtrooper, Jedi Kenobi, Death Trooper with a death mark dropping. You're trying to use a group of characters that create turn meter on themselves, and why that team works so well, and that also remove turn meter. I mean, I was having a really deep conversation with a guy who he said, if you look at it, every team that has ever been in the meta, version of turn meter manipulation on themselves or some version of turn meter manipulation on the other team. I do not see Stormtrooper, GK, Death Trooper team having a lot of turn meter manipulation or having the AI be able to work them very well. Their defense team, now that Zeta Darth Maul is on the way out.
I think that Zader is actually a stronger defense than Zeta Maul. I ran a Zeta Vader lead 15 today, and I didn't even put arena mods. I was just like, let's see what happens. So and if you want to put Zeta Barris on your arena team, actually hold a lot better. So many teams, so that's something to run. I think turn meter percent gain is strong versus flat speed. Unfortunately, Tarkin's leadership is flat speed. Vader has percent removal, which is kind of like pseudo turn meter gain. Turn meter, you're controlling the match. So I think actually Zeta is actually stronger than Zeta Maul right now, and the refined Empire team with Tarkin hasn't been created yet, but I think in the next week or two we'll have a good idea of where does Tarkin fall, and I think under a Zader lead is great or a Gar Saxon lead. Unfortunately, we can't farm Gar Saxon yet, but I've seen him in action and he's actually quite good. There is Palpatine lead, but I feel like Palpatine is too weak in this meta. Like even the Sith players weren't using Palpatine. They started phasing him out. So probably Zader or Gar Saxon lead would be good for Empire.
Okay. Awesome.
Good old Maurice asked a question. He says, I run Boba, Biggs, First Order TIE Pilot, Sunfac, and TIE Advanced. I have Scimitar, Poe, and Wedge on the bench. I just finished Bistan's U-Wing to 7-star. Both pilots are Gear 11. How do I use them under an Agbar capital ship?
Well, you're running Biggs, Bubba, First Order TIE Pilot, Sunfac, TIE Advanced. So first of all, I'd get rid of Sunfac on your opening lineup.
Agreed.
With an Akbar lead.
I would swap Bistan in for Sunfac.
Or
on that team.
He said he finished Bistan's U-Wing. I mean, I like that in that lineup as well.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, he's saying where he wants to put it in the lineup, and I would say swap Sunfac for Bistan's U-Wing.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. One. Yeah, that's going to help you with in a lot of ways.
And then potentially put Sunfac on the bench after Scimitar, and have Poe as your finisher.
Yep, that's definitely
and leave Wedge completely off.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next question here.
Crutch 72 says, So are we getting credits and Luke shards for the event? My Luke is pretty low. Yeah, if you go into the event, it'll show you what you're getting. You have to have a 6-star Luke to be able to do the bonus tier. And it looks like you have to have him Gear 9, but you can still do it. You can still do the other tiers. You will be getting stuff for. Lucas T has a question: Is Ahsoka going to be worth gearing for free-to-play players at 3-star? Since she won't be farmable after the event for a while. Smithy D.
Yes. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, you want to gear her up, get her ready. Then when she is obtainable, you're going to be there. You've got that commitment. It's going to be a tough one. I don't think she could be really difficult to run at 3-star because of a low HP and her kind of self-inflicting a lot of pain to herself through her debuffs and cleanse and stuff. Yeah, I think that she's going to be one of those characters like Ezra. Ezra gets away with it because he's a Jedi, so he can go pretty comfortably in a Jedi team. You could use Ezra, even though she hasn't got the tag. You could put her into a Jedi team with R2. Going to protect her, but at the end of the day, she's an attacking character. The more gear, the more stars that she's got, the better she's overall going to be performing. She's not like Nihilus that can sit at the back, increase cooldowns, and kind of hide away. She's up on the front line doing the fact.
We have a follow-up question to that, which is, would she be viable at 4-star?
So 4-star is going to be basically the same as 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
You might have like a tad more health, defense, and damage, but I don't think that she's going to be viable at 3. I mean, well, let's take that back. You can use her at 3 or 4 stars on your arena team, but you'll find that there's other free-to-play 7-star lineups that are as strong or maybe even stronger than building a team around Ahsoka at 3 stars.
She's not.
That's what I think.
She's and watching what Smithy put out, she looks amazing. She will be a great piece to have, but she's not a meta-changing character as we stand right now. So you got to put her in the right kind of team for her to be successful.
That Erickson has another question.
Okay.
What is the optimal Tarkin lineup?
Well, I think
you can kind of already.
Yeah, we did. We already covered that. I think for raids.
Yep.
For raids.
For raids.
Yeah.
Basically, we know he's going to be good in the Rancor. For sure.
I think that something I'm not sure if we talked about on the tank raid. Tarkin has the potential to instantly topple at in-rage, by the way. That's an interesting thing, but he's not like a super amazing tank raid hero.
Yeah.
So he's really great in ships. He's really great in the Rancor. He's above average on an Empire team in Arena. Not so much.
Yeah. Crutch 72. I have in ships. I have Sunpack, Imperial TIE Fighter, Geonosian Soldier ship. What other dark side ship should I go for to build a Zeta team? I'm currently 77. So he's got 1, 2, 3 ships already. He needs to find 2 more.
TIE Pilot, First Order.
First Order TIE Pilot definitely needs to be on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably your next one is going to be, it'd be great if you could get Scimitar.
Boba Fett's a great one.
I would say there's Scimitar or Boba Fett.
Yeah.
and you don't need to have, you just need the stars.
Smith, I know you're lining something up. Such a turd.
So, there you go. Knights Templar asks a really good question. How would you suggest Luke to be modded to play with his potency or crit chance? So I'm going to tell you, I re-looked at his abilities again today, and it is potency and crit chance, because he gets he has the ability to inflict buffs, and he does need potency for that, and he does get I think he gets like buffs whenever you put him down. So let's look at since I can look at Luke, and apparently our host here cannot look at Luke. I will read his abilities for a minute. So his first ability is deal physical damage to the target. If this attack scores a crit, gain 40% turn meter and inflict damage over time for 3 turns, which means you need to have crit chance on him. His second ability, which is Bullseye, afflict physical damage to the target. If this target scores a critical hit, stun the target for 1 turn and inflict defense down and speed down for 2 turns. Again, you need more crit chance. His leader ability is tenacity to all allies, so we don't really care about that one. Luke has a 44% 44 crit chance, gain crit chance up for 2 turns at the start of each of his turns. So I'm thinking it's crit chance, crit chance, crit chance.
Mm-hmm.
All of his abilities are based on crit chance.
Potentially, you may want to not have Luke die in the event. I haven't played it yet, but if he has to live, you may want to build him like a tank I mean, I know that's not the proper way to build them.
Well, you need critical chance. You can one shot the Tuscans.
So
yeah.
potentially you would want to put then a bunch of crit chance sets on him, but you could potentially mod for protection arrow, protection
Do you
diamond.
want the tactic for it? Have a look.
Sure.
2 seconds then. I'll get you the tips now.
I'm hearing words of people in like other time zones that are starting to complete it, and I see someone completed it with a Gear 8 Luke Skywalker 7 stars with average mods. So it doesn't look like we.
You're ready for it. There's chat. It's all in chat now. Actually, it won't let me do it. Let me do one piece at a time. There's 200 limit. Here you go. This is the guide for it. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put tier 1 in. Then I'll put.
Which chat are you posting in?
The thingy chat. The one that we're on now. The YouTube one.
Okay.
Oh my days. 200. There's a. P. Get rid. It's quite a bit actually. Maybe should I just put it all in the Discord?
Yeah,
and people can go in there afterwards.
Yeah, that'd be good.
There's a lot. Yeah, so I'll do that afterwards. But I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I read it out? It's from someone in chat.
Yeah.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
What a troll!
Oh my God, Captain Blackbeard, what are the abilities?
I just love how Groddy's like, nope.
Oh my God, you guys! What are the abilities that you want to Omega on Tarkin in order to use him in the Rancor raid? So if we look at Tarkin for a minute and we look at his abilities, I'm not sure you have to Omega any of his abilities in order for it to work. Or if you do.
The turn meter reduction one.
Do the first special because it becomes 100% chance to remove turn meter.
The first special, yeah, that because it goes from 100. It goes 100% chance to remove 90% turn.
And if you're not using a tenacity down character, potentially the basic, because then he can get a ton of potency and kind of guarantee that turn meter removal.
I could see that.
Mm.
So then the next question on our list here is
Justin Ward.
From Justin Ward. Thank you, Donkey Teeth. I have a question. What would be that's his in-game name? What would be your opinion of changing the way turn meter reduction works in the Rancor, Zader, Tebow, Jen, etc., and make it harder?
You buff the Rancor.
I don't.
I mean,
just buff the
you make it so the Rancor's 50%, right? Like you can only inflict 50% of the turn meter that was supposed to be taken away, right?
We have a heroic tier of the Rancor. They could always decide to make a legendary tier of the Rancor.
They could. And
make one more higher tier. That would be kind of cool. I don't know.
I'd rather just have a new raid at this point.
Yeah.
I would rather have a new raid.
Yeah.
We have an 8-month-old raid and like an 18-month-old raid. I'm a little feeling like maybe we could do something different here.
I agree.
Clutch 72. Where are the new game mode with ships and regular characters they hinted about a month ago? I don't know. We should be getting it soon.
They had to put Ewok Scout in the hard mode first.
They had other priorities.
They had to do that. They had to do that, and they had to nerf Nute Gunray first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
those were more important than a new area.
They had to buff him and nerf him in like 2 days, right? So
yeah, they buffed him and nerfed him. Oh my God,
that was awesome.
They changed him because of R2-D2, by the way.
Yeah, they changed it to make it where it wasn't quite so good with R2, and then they were like, "Oh crap! By the way, this made it much better with Jawas."
If they just changed it but made it but kept the turn meter game the same, it would have been fine, right?
It was because Lando could just keep spamming or something. I remember.
Yeah, but that was the old reason why they changed it.
Yeah,
like, it's so.
Well, that's when they changed it because of the Lando thing. That's when it allowed everyone to do the new teeny Jawa.
Teeny Jawa.
whatever they call it. I wanted to call it the Gunray sync, but everyone was like Nutini,
What
which is
did you
still a
say?
good game, a good name.
Oh my god. All right. Our boy MJ has a question. He says, "So it is only when an ally has a turn that she cleanses herself, or any tune." Smithy, can you clarify that for us, please, for our boy MJ?
Who? Talia?
No.
Oh, Ahsoka. Sorry,
Yes.
I don't know how
You
to.
know who they're
Talia.
talking about. Quit being.
No, I didn't. Serious. It's any turn. Any turn. So it doesn't matter. It's the end of any turn. So, say for example, Tarkin uses his second ability where it puts a fence down and is it critical chance down.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as his turn ends, so at the start of his turn, then the middle of the turn, he's applying the ability. At the end of the turn, it's gone off her pretty much that quick.
Wow.
But she's going to damage herself for 10% per debuff. So it's going to happen pretty quick. You could probably kill her really, really fast if you're using the right team, of course.
Right.
Don't let people know I told you that.
You heard it here from Smithy D first. You can find
Secret
him on YouTube.
strats.
Let's see. Next question is from our boy Vlad NWA. When are we getting Embo? EMBO? I'm not sure what that's. Is that a typo?
Embo.
Embo is a would be a bounty hunter. Embo is that character you fight on like 9B hard light side. I think it is. He's the one that he produces a death mark even. Like he looks pretty sick and he like throws his hat at you.
Does that remind you of
Throws his pimp hat at you.
Doesn't it remind you of like a rip off of Cornell from Mortal Kombat?
Well,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah, he throws
Yeah, a little bit.
pimp hat at you. It's like black dynamite.
with blades.
Yeah.
God. Get over here. Next question from Vlad NWA. Question: Would Ranger be happy if the fan favorite character was Wicked? I think we've covered that quite extensively.
I don't think so.
Next, and then the last question, Bimatsu. A Finn rant?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what he
for
asked.
shizzle manizzle. Finn has a rant.
So I was going to not rant, but
Rant.
they're asking for it, and we do what the fans want.
That's right.
A little bit whorish that way. So
Yeah.
and this is going back a little bit, and then if you guys want, you can comment on it. Problem with the whole Nute Gunray thing is even more what you guys were talking about earlier. If they think that it's not working the way that it's intended, I have no issue with them changing it and saying, this isn't what we intended for it to do, and so making such and such changes. Between saying something isn't working as intended and then thinking the players are stupid. In the description that they put into the reasoning as to why this is bugged, they point out the wording of each turn. And it says the wording states each turn, which means Nute's ability should be triggered the first time a character gets hit, not assists, which is what is happening. This whole concept of their turn is the stupidest thing I've seen in terms of an explanation. If you look at Chirrut has a unique ability that says at the start of each turn. It should only apply to Chirrut, and it should only happen on his turn, but everybody else is getting healed. Ahsoka now, who is at the end of each turn, but she's going on every other person's turn, not just her turn, character's turn. This wording of each turn that they're using as an excuse as to why they're changing Nute is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and I really wish they didn't include that line because it makes me think that they think the players are stupid as to why they're fixing this.
What would you think would have been a better response, Finn?
Just ignore it. They didn't need that line. That line just makes it worse. Just say that it's not working the way we intended it to. We wanted it to only work once on the individual person's turn. Each turn is confusing, so we reworded it.
Valid point.
Don't say that each turn is supposed to mean something when it obviously doesn't, and you use that same terminology on other characters, and it doesn't refer to only their turn.
Great point.
Change the way Ahsoka works entirely.
I have to agree with Finn on this. it's not the fact that they fixed it that's the problem. It's the method that they went around fixing it that was the problem. I think we can all agree on some level it was broke. Dispute that point. And I don't dispute the fact it changed. I dispute the fact of how they went about it. Than the fact that it was broken in the first place. Because how you fix something is as important as the fact that it was broken in the beginning.
Very nice.
That's the crux of the problem. It's not, oh hey, this is broken and we need to fix it. Well, no crap, it's broken. No crap. We can all tell it's broken. We can all tell it was broken the minute we first saw it. But it's just the same way Vader was broken, the same way Tebow was broken, the same way a bunch of characters were broke. But the way they went about it was the way they went about it offended a lot of people, and I feel like that's the part that needed to change. And the speed at which they did it and the way they communicated it in that post was left a lot to be desired, left a bunch to be desired.
Well,
I totally agree with Ben.
Gotcha. No, that's what we're here for. Share your opinions. Big shout out to Virtual Game World. Just gave us $2. Said keep up the good work. Rated you, by the way. VGW. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. Does some good stuff. We appreciate your support, bud. Thank you for the $2 donation. Nukin, you were saying something. Did you want to say anything to that, or were you
about the Gunray sync, or I mean the
Finn was
Beanie
saying?
team?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they could have gone about doing it in a better way. I want to address Grande and how they quickly fixed this team. I think don't quote me on this, but I think it might have been an easier fix because they just changed Nute recently, and it might have been either fresh on their minds or maybe it was just easier to fix in general versus the way that Xylo solos a phase is completely different. It revolves around a button that you never really end up pressing most of the time on heroic raids.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be why. I think they probably shouldn't have changed it at all, actually, but they should have done it in a way that didn't nerf Nute, but prevented the team from doing what it did.
Yeah.
Because I think that like potentially you could have done this in other phases as well, maybe, and like just the way that in case there's like what I'm saying, like in case there's Jawa used in another raid, it just totally stops that from ever happening. That the likelihood of that happening is low, but basically that part of the reason why Jawa are good is because of the assists. And I think they needed to address it in a different way. There was other ideas, but then you would be hurting other teams, like allowing the tank to take turn meter while it's toppled. But that would mess up a whole other bunch of super teams that people worked hard for. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's changed, and they were trying to prevent Arena from being broken with the introduction of R2D2. So I'm thankful for that, but they didn't do enough raid play testing, and I guess raids aren't their priority, and they're more about Arena and ships and events right now.
Valid point as well. So, absolutely. So, all right. I think that's all the questions. I think that's all the subjects. We've gone on for 2.5 hours. So we're going to end the stream. VGW just gave another $5.
Thanks.
Let's see. He says, FYI, Mike's channel and I have started Mike Hunt. That's right. I forgot about that. They are collabing. They're doing in-depth character reviews and backstories. Yes, I think we had mentioned that he did on the Jedi Academy bud that's been put out there. So, but yes, thank you again, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you again. $5. We'll take it. All right. So now we are going to end the stream, and we are going to Pimp our stuff. Let's start with Nukin, who I know is at the hospital. So, Nukin, you've got the
Yeah.
podcast, man. There's a lot of good stuff happening. Tell the folks about it and where they can check it out, my man.
So we have a website called SWGOHindepth.com. You can find our podcast on there, or Google Play, or the iTunes store. There's a few other podcast apps that we're on as well. But we have a weekly podcast where we just talk about Star Wars. We theory craft. We did an Ahsoka episode and gave the rundown on her, and a little bit on Tarkin because we had some time. So you can check us out on there. And then I actually have a YouTube channel as well. It's Nukin from Republic, and I make videos when I have extra time. And right now I'm kind of focusing on Tarkin, and I'm going to be trying to pump out some Arena Tarkin videos and soloing the Rancor post bug fix. That's coming up in the pipeline, so stay tuned for that. Thanks,
Awesome.
Thanks for letting me sneak in through the back door again.
No, you're always welcome here. We appreciate your insight and everything. And if you guys haven't checked out the podcast, please do. There's some really good stuff in there. Did you guys interview EA Jesse? That 2 weeks
we
ago?
did.
Yep,
Yeah.
So check that out.
Actually, kind of, if you paid attention to it, you can hear me saying Tarkin rework confirmed on that episode. So you kind of dropped the ball a little bit on there, and nudge, because I was asking about, what about Royal Guard and Tarkin? We did these Imperial Troopers. What about Tarkin? And he's like, yeah, we wouldn't be opposed to working on him in the future. And yeah, he must have been almost done at that point when he was on our podcast. So good for him for not completely saying it. But yeah, we plan on having him on, and probably maybe even Top Hat or someone else as well in the near future. We've had Smithy D and Sir Loki and you and Grande.
Yes.
So we always have interesting guests come onto the podcast. It's a fun time.
Yes, it is. And I think we're also VG just gave us $5 more, man. Good Lord, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
He says pimp it good. Very nice. And I think we're going to try to get Crazy back on here next week. And we need to work on that.
Talk about, because we reworked our arena team.
Oh, yes.
Like 3 or 4 weeks back.
Yeah, stay tuned for next week when we see the dramatic climb from what was it, 200 to 500 up to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it, but she got up pretty high.
Yeah.
Post changes. So
Is that going to be another late night?
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I don't know. I hope not.
No,
I think we should not do it at 1 a.m. again.
No, that was a one-off. That was a one-off, and I'm not going to pee my pants again. That's all I'm saying. All right.
$20 donation from Crazy Excuses.
Damn it! That's like son of a bitch. Smithy, you got a lot of stuff out there, man. A lot of great videos. Where can people check you out?
I'm on my channel, Smithy D. Just a couple of clicks away. Tarkin Smithy D.
You're such a troll, dude. Sometimes, man. I love you like a brother, but sometimes you're just a turd, man.
Hey, it's not 3 in the morning.
I know. We appreciate Smithy being on. It is late for him. He's got young Jedi Luke that he's.
Well, no, I've got to get up for Farm Boy Luke tomorrow.
Oh, that's
that's it. Yeah, I don't want to be sleeping in and missing it.
Yeah, you got 2 Lukes you got to worry about. I mean, you're a busy man. But
yeah, you can check me out. I'm working on the Tarkin review at the minute. There's a lot. I know you are. It's difficult. I've been doing it since probably 11 o'clock in the morning from my time, all the way till before the stream started. And there's just so much, just like testing, checking out different stuff, and yeah. So hopefully I'll have it done tomorrow. But I ain't doing another Tarkin review after.
I'm sure there'll be another character. I'm just waiting for when they do finally give Luke with that lightsaber your review, and I just want to see your head explode. That's what I'm just counting the days for. All right, Sir Loki.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, man. I thought I was on mute. I'm playing with one of my builds right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
You're playing with what?
Great, man. This thing's great. I got a YouTube channel. It's Sir Loki, SIRLOKI. Just currently doing arena videos and I'm trying to solo P3, so that's always my weekly task. I actually got to jump on it before or after this stream, so I'm looking forward to that. But
That's right.
I just
Don't
do a
post
lot
it
of
on the forums, man. Whatever
Sorry?
you do, just don't post it on the forum.
I know, right? It's gonna be honest.
I finally did it 2 days later. Oh, nerd.
Awful, huh? I mean, the creativity goes out the window, right? I mean, it's just it's just sad.
No, I just think it was just those Jawas. Maybe they'll do Chirpatine next. He's been there for a while.
Yeah, let's nerf the crap out of that.
That's
Either that or
that's
they'll
pretty
get the
much the
hard
same, isn't it? But it's just not on the scale. It's kind of like a minimal scale, but it's pretty much kind of same thing, isn't it?
I mean, effectively, you can have a 7-star level 72, level 74 with an Omega on it, and it'll work.
Lucky's playing with his lightsaber. That's amazing.
Yeah, man, this thing is awesome, man.
I wouldn't know. I'm still waiting for mine.
Oh my god.
Be quiet.
Mine's got no batteries in it at the minute, I don't think. 1 minute.
God.
Let me check it.
Jesus. All right, and then for us, we are Reality Skew Gamers. You can check us out on all these sites. You can see up there. I think Loki just stabbed himself in the face with his lightsaber.
No, that was Smithy, man. That was
Smithy's. Yeah, so we got a lightsaber
we're
battle going on.
We're gonna have
We're trying
on-air
to pimp our
lightsaber
stuff.
battle right
Fantastic.
now.
Do it off the show, not while we're trying to pimp our stuff. So like the video, subscribe. When you subscribe, you get all this great content. All the people that just pimped their stuff, we have a link to all their stuff on the bottom. Big shout out to Virtual Gaming, give some more money. Good lord, he's amazing. Check out his site as well, and that collab with Mike, who's one of our panelists.
Before we go, though,
what? I'm trying to pimp my stuff. What?
No, before we go, like just at the end, I just got something to say to Loki. So before we go.
Okay, well, you wait your turn. I'll tell you when. But you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook. You can support us at Cafe Press. You can buy merchandising. And you can check out our website at realityscootgamers.blogspot.com. And also, if you would like to donate, we've had a lot of people ask us. So we do have the donation button that is on the channel now, on the homepage for YouTube. That you can donate there now. So we've got all that set up for you guys. We got more great stuff coming. Keep giving us a thumbs up. Keep giving us the subscriptions. I mean, we're over 1,300 subscribers now. We're climbing, and we're over 100,000 views and climbing. So that's all thanks to you guys and your guys' support, and we tremendously.
Weren't you supposed to open packs at like 1,200 or something?
It was 1,500, and we ain't even close. So no.
You got a lot of good stuff in the packs now. They just put Phoenix. They put Phoenix in there.
Oh, well, it makes me want to open packs. Not. We'll see. I may set a new benchmark, but somehow I know Smith and you guys will figure a way to make it happen. Just see me open packs. I have to be very careful. I have to set the bar at a certain level. All right. So that all said, Smithy, to end the stream, what would you like to say to Mr. Sir Loki?
Loki, you're gonna pay for all them Jedi that you killed today.
We're gonna have an on-air lightsaber battle now, or what?
Let's take them together. I'm gonna take them now. No, Anakin! On that madness note, thanks to everybody for coming out tonight. Check us out Saturday, where we do the Jedi Academy at 10 a.m. Eastern. We have all of the fun people there that you know and love, and we will do nothing but answer your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions. So on behalf of myself and the crew and everybody that came out tonight, thank you, and we will check you out on Saturday at 10 a.m. Till then, be safe.